All right, I made a post sharing that we're going live. We're just gonna let people trickle in, and I went live.
Nice.
Oh, it's nice to wake up with the markets going green again.
Hell yeah.
It's man, this last couple weeks have been just like flying. I love it. We got
Absolutely love it.
Bitcoin's been on fire too. Those liquidity pools are paying so much for just like blue chip liquidity. It's incredible.
Hell yeah.
And then it's also a lot easier to make trades now. So not so hard to like what is it called? Not too hard to like get up and jump in on like market making and stuff like those incentive programs out there. It's like not only are they paying you incentives, but it's at a time where it's like so easy to make profitable trades. They're basically just laying it on thick. I love it.
Yeah.
It's getting easier and easier to make money again. And
Yeah.
it's only starting too, I feel like the bull market this time around is kicking so hard so early. It's wild.
Yeah, I think with,
Oh, no. Okay.
people still haven't started FOMOing, you know. I mean,
Yeah, barely.
our barber and Uber drivers haven't still asked us about Bitcoin.
That's true. I'm still waiting for that where it's just like when you're out like getting a haircut and it's just like, oh, you know what? You should invest in Dogecoin. It's like, I see. The
Right.
sign that it's coming to an end.
Right.
That was
That's when we start exiting.
yeah. I think once you start getting the advice from like, although I will say what has happened already this time around is like quite a few people who I know from over the years who obviously know that I'm into like crypto and all that stuff have come from the woodwork a little bit and like texted and reached out and asked about like it's like hey it's like crypto's doing well, like is there should I sell my stuff? I still have my things. And it's been really funny to see like that coming back to life a little bit of people who've been like I think diamond handsing it through this bear market and are now
Oh,
coming out the other end back in profit and are starting
right.
to wonder if
They,
it's time to sell.
yeah, they just breaking even or back in profit. Like
Yeah. Yeah, we're just
at,
hitting that mark now where like pretty much everybody who bought at the very peak of the hype last time around and held all the way through the last like couple years is
yeah.
starting to get happy again now.
But yeah, if we exited close to the top, so if they did that, they would have saved themselves what, like 80-90% loss.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we were in here like even back then. Like, I mean, we've been streaming. We'll look at the markets every like week here on the Neon Space stream, and we were like saying back at like 58K, I think, is where we were saying like, yeah, I think it's the end. Like, I mean, sure, we didn't catch the tippy top at like 65 or whatever, but 58 was a pretty good exit point where we got out when we started.
Yeah, it was, yeah, exactly, close to 60K. And yeah, I think either way, like I think the important thing is to catch the trend, as opposed to like trying to time the exact top and bottom, you know. And it's hard to do that. I don't know anyone who can do that.
Yeah,
But
exactly. That's not really a strategy either. Catching tops and bottoms is like, I mean, if you
down to
can
the
do it,
last candle wick,
if you can
come
do it, I mean, get it, baby.
on.
But, but man,
But
we've
if
been, I
yeah,
don't know. It's been like, I don't know. I've been having a great time over the last few years too, just staying in this market. It's been like my main kind of like focus and my main like income revenue, even during the bear market. But it is
yeah,
nice to like finally be back in like the time where everybody's able to make money again and everybody feels like a genius and like an investor like extraordinaire. So like now when you're talking in like chat groups and stuff, like everybody's in profit and it's not just you're like, hey, what a great like crypto market we're having, and everyone's just like, fuck, like all my money's in the like my life savings are gone. And like now it's like, hell yeah, everyone has that optimism again. The whole like someone a lot of people are getting that like you said, not the FOMO hasn't really kicked in yet, but I am starting to see like people getting that thing where like they bought, like $100 worth of some meme coin recently, and then suddenly it's worth $1,000. And so then you have like the, oh well, if it goes another 10x, that's $10,000. And like, you know, all the things that I could do, all the things I could do in my life with an additional $10,000. And like that is just such a fun, like, you know, way to think about you know, the potential of like, you know, your gains and stuff. And I think people get sucked into that, and I'm starting to see like yeah,
I mean, if it's already gone 10x, I mean that's a huge profit.
Hey,
You
and
know,
if you are one of those people, yeah, if you're one of those people out there who's sitting on like a meme coin that is up 10x, I, you know, like do whatever you want, obviously, but consider selling 10% to take your principal back. Like there's, you still have 9x of the exposure riding, right? I mean, what's the problem? But some people, you know, it's all or nothing. And I do kind of get the, like, you know, maximize your profit, like potential, you know, and that's not going to happen if you're cashing out, which is like, I guess. But if you're up 10x, like, and you're not selling, what is your exit point? Do you have an exit strategy? And if the answer is no, then maybe consider selling principal back at 10x as like a pretty solid, you know, rule for your trading.
Yeah, I think at that point it's more like not trading but gambling. You know, at least that's what I think. Like if you don't,
overwhelmingly, the people who've asked me, people who've asked me in the past too about like what they should do, have not followed the advice either. Like last year when Dogecoin jumped to like, I think it was over 80 cents. I had somebody text me like in my like friend group that like their mom had bought into Dogecoin from their Robinhood app and was currently sitting on $80,000 in Dogecoin. And they were like, oh, like, do you think like, and they were like at 8, and I literally have text messages that were like the week that Dogecoin was at its all-time high, where I'm like, you should tell your mom to sell immediately. Like, you've made it. Like, there's nothing more you can do here. Like, you won. You hit the fucking jackpot. You rode the shit to 80K. Like, take the fucking money off the table. And they were like, no, I don't think so. Like, we'll sell it at like $1 or something. And it's just like, okay, like, it's, you know, you're not, then like, you're not asking me for my advice. And it's especially because like they're like, hey, you know, we don't really invest in crypto. She just got lucky. And they're like, I know you do this like full time for years and years. Like, what do you think she should do? And I'm like, she should sell. And it turns out they don't want your actual advice. What they want is you to confirm what they want to do. And what they want to do is, you know, hold until they get to the moon, which
I mean, again
is like, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think something similar happened. I had a friend like reach out, and he was like, I'm gonna hold till it's $10 because, you know, last hype cycle was like it's gonna go to like $10. And I was like, no freaking way. Like, $1 is a huge psychological resistance. And it's like, and that's the thing, like, you know, like with when an asset is in like price discovery, like, then it's like there's no resistance or support, right? Like, to go by. And I think a lot of what happens is like psychological resistance, and it tends to be like even numbers. So say like Bitcoin is at what, like 73 something now, 73K. So I think like every $10,000 would be some sort of like psychological resistance. And that's like, if you're trading this and not just like spot holding it, like I would like, if I had longs going, like I would start exiting around every like $10,000 if there was no like resistance.
I also,
and support, you know?
I mean, I personally have like, I exit my principal at 200%.
That's huge.
I'm not trying to 10x, you know, like that's insane. But like, if I'm 200%, that's, I've tripled my money. So at that point, I take my principal back, and that keeps double what I started with, exposed to the remaining upside. And I have the principal to make a new position and take a new risk. And then the existing position, the risk profile has now changed because the principal has been removed. So that like having like those types of strategies, I think helps, you know, obviously manage your risk, and having appropriately managed risks allows you then, I think, to actually ride beyond a 10x and like be reasonable about it, because
Yeah,
like
totally.
you know there's certain coins that like I've held into like 50 60x, and if I had followed the rule of like, oh man, 10x I'm out, like I would have missed huge potential gains.
Yeah, so
And like
like scale in and scale out. I think
exactly,
that's
and like the reason
the
I was able to hold
thing
it
to do.
after it was like 20x and I still held is because my principal had been realized. And once I hit 20x, I pulled the principal amount out a second time. So it's like, oh, cool. No matter what happens, I'm double what I started with. And
Yeah,
then when we
exactly.
hit
It's
like,
money on the
yeah,
table. Like, who cares
I,
what happens, right?
I sold most of it at 50x, and then it went to 66, and I was just like, I'm out. Like,
It's too
yeah,
much.
I got to get away from this.
Probably. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure that would have been closer to top too.
Yeah, I mean, stuff doesn't keep going up forever too, and then I think people get like the,
People.
you know, and it is really difficult. Like, yeah, I get random kings. This is I feel that too, where it's like, why are you asking me when I tell you something, and then you're like, nah, I'm gonna do this other thing. It's kind of like
Yeah.
irritating. But I get it, man. It's hard to sell. Like, you own a money printer, and it's like every
Yeah.
day it's making you $1,000, and I'm telling you to sell it.
Yeah, that's
No one wants to
ridiculous.
hear
in my
that. Yeah,
opinion,
no one wants to hear that shit. Like, it's hard to hear that. It's hard to do it. So especially now that you know we are kind of back, the Bulls are kind of back in town, and we are
Yeah.
seeing you know lots of like new highs being made. Don't be afraid to take profits if you are in profit, or to at the very least follow a plan. And like I said, if you have a rule of like, oh, if I'm up, you know, 3, 4, whatever X, you know, I should take X amount, then do that. Don't think about it and be like, oh, but if I wait another day, maybe it'll be. It's like, yeah, maybe it will, maybe it won't. But you can.
Yeah, it's gambling at that point.
Yeah, at that point, it's exactly at that point you're no longer sticking to your plan. You're no longer investing. You're now like following the emotions. You know, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on. Yeah, if you want to take
Dude, wait,
profit,
tell me.
someone's like blasting anything over there. Hold on.
Oh,
Here,
sorry.
if you want to take profit, do it wisely. Yes, I agree. Take profit. I think there isn't really a way to take profit where I would be like, that was dumb. Like, you're never gonna look back on having taken a profit and closing a trade profitably and being like, man, I'm such an idiot. Like, I took profit. You know, that's not the thing that happened.
Yeah, like Random King's asking, if I bought $50 of BTC at $6,000, should I let it ride? I mean, like we were saying, like, you know,
Goodbye.
like when it reached new all-time highs. I mean, you know, like 69K was a big set of resistance. What up?
Yo.
Yeah, man. How you feeling, dude? I know
My back's all jacked up.
Oh shit.
Would the doctors find anything, or just
They did an X-ray. The X-ray is good, but they said if it is still messed up, I'll probably have to do an MRI. Right now, my shoulders are different heights, which they said is not a good thing. They're like, yeah, your shoulders should be even. One shouldn't be permanently taller than the other one. So
how is
something
that
weird.
Possible?
But this is sound great.
I wonder if I can.
We're laughing at his mystery. This is so bad. Sorry, dude.
Okay, yeah, a little bit. No, weird.
But that is, man. What's the next steps? Like MRI and then.
Yeah, they said. Well, they prescribed me painkillers, so I'm going to be taking some painkillers, and if it doesn't go away, then follow up with my primary physician because I went to urgent care. In urgent care, like I have to have my primary physician get me to get the MRI, which takes way longer. It's like
I mean, if the shoulders are different height, wouldn't they have to like reset it or like some physiotherapy or something?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, kind of walk around like this.
It might just be because it's like agitated temporarily, though. It might just get better on its own. That's what I'm hoping, at least. But they said worst case scenario, if it gets worse, I can go to the ER and the ER can do an MRI. But like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I'm hoping it doesn't get to that.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Alice says, if you don't care about the coin and you're a whale and dump a ton, you could wreck it permanently. You could, I suppose, but that would have to mean that the coin that you're a whale in has a pretty fragile economy.
And that's
Or
happened on like
you're-
Wax before with Wax games. Like
That's
once
true.
once one person sells, then it creates a ton of sell pressure and everybody panic sells. And then the assets start taking in value because your assets like in Our Planet or Nova Rally, when like you are staking for a token, when that token tanks, then the NFT is not worth as much anymore. And like you can definitely like if you are a whale that owns most of the NFTs in the project and you tank the value of the token, like you're also tanking the value of your NFTs.
That's true. I do think
Yeah.
that is a lot harder to do with established liquidities such as Bitcoin or Ethereum. Like you'd need hundreds of billions of dollars to make that kind of a cascade happen. But then there is, there's assets out there like that are part of like, money market protocols, stuff like CRV actually had a run like this, and CRV is a pretty established token. CRV is the voting share for Curve. And that one had a run where it went from I think like $1 to like 30 cents as people
It lost its peg, right? Or...
Yeah, it doesn't. It wasn't a peg token.
Oh, it wasn't a stablecoin.
Yeah,
it
just tanked. It used to be worth a lot more, and it was like it tanked because there was like you could use it to basically borrow other assets in money markets like AAVE. I think Curve Lend now also has that. That's if you've seen CRV USD. Those are CRV USD is like similar to like DOLA or any of the other like debt backed stable coins. Those are backed by like debts that are held by Curve in Bitcoin, Ethereum, like big blue chip assets like that. But CRV is part of that kind of network, and as people were basically as the price started to fall, more and more people were basically panic selling because they were worried that at a certain price the debt in these money markets, that's denominated in those assets becomes unrecoverable because the value of the asset is so low. And that would then cascade and even quit, or like basically a dump to zero. And so like that, that reality exists if liquidity markets aren't deep enough and the counterpart of the demand of these assets isn't there. With Curve, it actually like did not come to that liquidation event, although it came within like 10 cents. I think they were like 30 cents at like 22 cents or something. We would have seen like AAVE go into bad debt mode and have to dump all the CRV they had, which was like $8 million worth or some shit. So it's like, and then in that event, that means that, liquidators can then buy those CRV for like a discount and then immediately sell them at like a higher price. And that would absolutely tank the market further. But I don't know. That gets a little too complicated for what we want to touch on today, I think. Yeah. So today, I wanted to invite Sid to join us here because Sid is really like the guru kind of wizard at technical analysis and chart reading. So, to give a quick background on, so I met Sid back in 2016,
16, 17, something, 16.
Yeah,
I think.
16, I think too.
16. 17.
I met Sid. Right. We were working at a previs production company. Doing like work. I think we were both on different projects. If I remember correctly, I think you were working on Pacific Rim.
Yeah. The second one, what was it? Yeah, Uprising.
Pacific Rim 2, right? Yeah. That whole like sequence where the robot was grabbing like cars.
Yeah, with the kaiju.
Garage. Yeah, that was a cool shot. And then I was working on, what was I doing? I was doing
the Megalodon thing.
Oh, that's right, the Meg. Yeah, Jason's statement. I got one last job for you. Gotta fight a Megalodon. Yeah, that shit was fucking,
I'm like, how are they still making those movies, man?
Classic Jason statement. It's great shit.
Oh my god, yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, we're working on that stuff, and I remember I was like, I was already into like crypto since like 2014. So I was just like, as I do, looking at charts and stuff on my lunch break, and Sid like saw me looking at it and was asking about it. So I was like, oh, like let me show you some Bitcoin stuff. And I had him download a wallet, I remember, like on his phone, and I sent him some ETH just to like demonstrate how it worked. And
yeah, like some $20 ETH.
Yeah, like that. Here, check it out. And like he got it in like 2 seconds and immediately kind of like saw the value in that kind of a settlement system, which I've obviously had done that demo, with many people like in the past, because for starters, I just have a bunch of ETH, or at the time I bought ETH for like $16 a token. So I had like it was very easy to be like, have $20. But yeah, so
100x.
But most people, that shit went 100x in like 4 months after I bought it. It was nuts. I turned like $1,000 to $100,000 like that. Became very, very wealthy for the first time. Is cool. Or not even wealthy. I think is more than 100K. But I became comfortable for the first time.
For us, it was, man.
I could go shopping, and not have to look at the prices. I go out to eat, and I was like, I don't care what stuff costs. I want this and this and that. Yeah, it was good times. But yeah, it was I remember I'd done that with a bunch of people, but you actually like kind of understood why it was like significant to be able to settle, peer-to-peer money like that. I think part of that is also because like I also have family in like other countries, and like that.
Yeah, it's like
that aspect of it is so huge, so immediately. Like I know a lot of people who don't necessarily deal with international settlement or remittance systems don't really like. You're like, oh well, I have a bank, I can easily send money from my bank to that other bank. It's like,
try wiring it
with limits,
abroad,
but try doing that shit on a
on a Saturday or something. Yeah,
we were there on Saturday. It's like go Saturday at like fucking it's like try doing that on Saturday and have it settle in 20 seconds, like because that's what this is. And,
for cheap, that do you know what I mean? Like,
that was so you kind of like got what I was so excited about really quickly, and then from that point, I think you got into it kind of mid, I guess, like run, and then like held through the first bear market.
2017. That was that was the bear market actually like taught me so much.
You also got into it like because like I said, I had showed a bunch of people, and like quite a few people jumped into it, and then like the second it turned bear and everyone started like losing money, most of those people fucked off. Whereas
because they like panic sold everything, and I bag held because I'm like, you know what, like it's fine, I'm just gonna bag hold. And that's actually the time I spent a lot of like I was trading some stocks before, but I wasn't really like good at trading, because but once the when the bear market was happening, that's when I actually started teaching myself how to trade. And and bear market, like you said, like bull market, everybody thinks they're a genius because like you literally you buy anything and it'll go up. I'm not even kidding. It's so frothy. Like, you know what I mean? But bear market is when you actually learn, and that's how
we've been doing too over with our series here on like Wax Wednesdays, where we do our like liquidity pool and rotating our stuff every week. We've been doing that throughout the bear market. So it's been like the last year and a half we've been working on that. And that really helps to demonstrate like, you can like turn a profit doing these kind of positions if you're doing them right. And it doesn't matter the direction of the market. It's just way easier when the direction is up.
Yeah, sure. It's way easier to long than like go short or
exactly,
or sell or take profits. But if you can manage to profit in a bear market, then that shows if you're actually a good trader or not.
And then that's kind of like why a big part of our series has been like to show that it's possible and then do it. And like the fact that we're up like a 200% in like a year and a half, and that year and a half has been a bear market.
That's awesome.
Is wild, especially considering like looking really back, we bought wax when it was like 10 cents. And then we've been doing this, we bought 100 wax around 10 cents a wax, and right now wax is almost back at 10 cents, but we have like 350. So that's that's exactly what we want to show. It has nothing to do with the value of the wax in dollars, because the value is basically the same at this point. And the whole time we've been doing this, the value's been and then ranging, and like finally in the last few months here it's coming back.
Because it broke out of the trend line, which we can
and that's a big part of what we want to do today is like, let's look at some charts and see like what do we see like with like kind of with having Sid kind of like show us like how you read the chart and how you find the trends, so that people can get like, because I do this every week too, but I feel like I've learned majority of what I know and at this point from you, which is kind of fun how it comes full circle.
I mean, that's why we started Maxi.
I mean, I was like, you saw me looking at charts the first time you're like, hey, what's this? And it's just like, oh, like I don't really know what I'm doing with these charts, but like, I know what I'm doing with all the
Yeah, I
crypto
remember
shit.
at
Yeah.
work, like you had your like second monitor, and I had you had the exchanges up. I think Poloniex. I think because that was only around like back in the day, and Gemini, you know.
Yep.
We hardly use Polo now, like, or nobody does.
Yeah,
But I remember that, yeah. And then you had your charts, and I was like, is that stocks? And you're like, no, that's crypto. I'm like,
it's better than
okay.
stocks, baby. It's the weekend.
Yeah, I
know. Moving. Yeah, you never have to sleep again. No doubt. Exactly. But yeah, it's like you never have to sleep again.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we start by like looking at some of the charts here, and let's dive into some crypto market stuff and see like let's see like what the market looks like at the moment. If you want to share, oh here, I can share, I can add your screen to the stage if you toggle to this. Yeah, like that. Beautiful.
Awesome.
Let's take a look at like what's happening.
Screens. So yeah.
You have Bitcoin. Is this Bit and ETH?
Yeah, so this is Bitcoin on the left side, and this is Ethereum on the right side.
We're looking at the daily chart, right? Or is that the 4?
Oh, this is a 4 hour, but 4 like hours. I just had it on the 4 hour. Well, typically I mean I usually just look at the daily. That's if you're like if you're not like trading all the time and every candle. It's like I think like daily is something to look at.
At this point, I trade so often. I'm also looking at like the daily and sometimes even like the 1 hour. But the 1 hour is for like we don't need to get that close.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like I typically look at the weekly, of course, and then and I think like first I start with higher time frames, and like look at that first before like sort of zooming in. Look at the first high time frame trend, what it is, and yeah, so
on the weekly it's fucking crazy bullish.
Crazy bullish, and like like you might have shared like, but we have our indicator, and it basically I mean it's just been on an uptrend ever since it signaled bull back in $20,000 when Bitcoin was 20,000, which was literally the bottom, and Ethereum too. It was like I don't know, 1.7K or something.
It called the bottom so well this time around. Like it has been really solid over like the years too, like in the back tests. But I think my biggest issue with our indicator this time around was just not like trusting it hard enough.
Yeah, we didn't go all in here. I mean, we started scaling in, but also like sticking to that strategy of like scale in and scale out.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. It's just like it's so easy to look back and be like I should have gone all in and mortgaged my house or whatever. And it's like sure, in retrospect that would have been a good move, but in reality that's not a good idea.
Right, but like we did. What we did was we started scaling in when we saw this bull signal, and then we went all in when the monthly also turned bull, because that was like 100% confirmation.
Yeah, the monthly has has not ever been like faked out either. So with that like print, so I'm
let's say on the monthly, like if you look at the log chart,
the log
like
chart.
Crazy, yeah.
So for people who are unfamiliar, what a log chart is, you can see that the scale, like the numbers on the right side, instead of going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up, it goes 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. So the increments are logarithmic is what that is.
That's it just like easier to see. Like
so this is actually so right here you're looking at the Bitcoin chart all the way back to like 2000. What is that, like 11 or something? What's
11, 10, 11, something like that.
Yeah, so it's this chart starts like under $1,000 per Bitcoin, and then you can see it like it doesn't do these crazy high spikes like what you'd normally see on a linear chart, because it's the upper level of the chart is 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, and the lower limit is 1, 10, 100, 1,000. So
it's just like framed better.
Yeah,
you can just view it in a better way.
This is
But
kind
yeah,
of like the chart that people will chart if they're showing like the long-term value propositions for Bitcoin. Like the stock to flow model was like a very popular version of the logarithmic chart.
yeah, we have like a Maxi
and
model.
we have our model of it like this, and yeah, exactly. And that's funny. It's those
It's stuck.
those blue lines that you've drawn there.
Yeah.
We drew those before the end of the last bull market, even. So like it's actually hit them really well. They've been around for a while. It's not like, yeah, it looks obviously like now it fits pretty nicely, but like that fit has been, playing out more so than it's been, drawn in.
That's also happened on our stream for like Max will draw resistances for Wax based on his like weekly moves. Then we'll check back and like the lines he drew, it's like the wicks are like hitting the lines like exactly. It's like
they hit there and bounce. Yeah, it's like months later. It's like, yep, see, this is where resistance is, and like you can keep charting it like that. And this model is definitely kind of like giving us our buying our entry target and our kind of scale out target. So like the upper limit here will be kind of what we're looking at for like a profit taking. And if you're looking at where that price is, it looks like it's around like 150 to 180,000 for Bitcoin.
Yeah, so I guess like it depends.
I guess it depends how fast we get there.
Yeah, how fast, and like in terms of time, like if it, I mean, this seems like way steeper like this time around. Like it's getting there sooner than say last time. Like you can see the curve is really steep. So this is a parabola, which I'm watching. Whether it confirms, then it could like, I mean, this will be a little different than the other cycles.
This would break the model, I think. If like this model of like the cycling bull bust cycle model would be different if we get a parabola this early on in the bull market.
Yeah,
normally,
because like
normally the parabola would happen probably like 6 or 7 months from now would be the base of the bull market parabola if we're sticking to the old cycle.
Yeah, because like usually like after the halving happens, like it at least goes on for like close to 2 years. That's typically
like the bear market goes on for a fucking while after that.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yeah, so we're actually breaking out of that pretty quick. This was a very short bear market.
I wonder if that's just because like more people are now able to recognize the trends because it's happened so many times that people are like trying to front run the halving, and like enough people are smart enough to jump in.
That is definitely the other thing about this asset class is that unlike literally every other traditional asset out there, retail can front run this. Like I front run the shit out of this. I bought Bitcoins for fucking $300. Like I front ran like Elon Musk, BlackRock. Like I bought these assets years before these institutions did. And that's usually not the case. Like generally speaking, institutions have the ability to pick their pick of the litter, and then anything left over goes to the retail crowd. So unlike standard like equity investments, we as retail investors have had the opportunity and continue to have the opportunity to front run this asset class. Front running being like getting in before the institution or the next player.
I think like you don't need to be a technical TA expert to like look at the charts and see the relationship between the price and the halving, though. Like I don't know shit about TA. Like I know that the price usually goes up after the halving, so I feel like because that's so easy, I guess, to predict that maybe that's why it's pumping harder, faster, rather than like you were saying where it used to go.
Yeah. Also, there's the whole like ETF buzz that was happening, this time, which was different. So I think a lot of the early pump, like usually it actually like Bitcoin does have a pre-halving pump. Like last time it did too. Like that's what you see in this curve, because the halving happened around like May or something like that. So we did have this like small term thing, but like it didn't make new highs before the halving, and it's always like retested sort of like the last high, and then it goes again into like a downtrend. The halving happens, and then it goes into like a parabola where like everybody starts FOMOing. So this time it just like started a parabola, or most likely a parabola, like even before and started making like new highs before the halving, which is different. So I mean, so like because if it played out the same cycles as earlier, like you would have the halving, and then the whole you would have another year of like price just keeps going up. You know what I mean? But if it were to like hit the top part of this like curve sooner, like say this year, then we could have like a spike up, hit that another like mini sort of, something like that. So it goes and then like goes into like a mini bear market, which nobody would expect this. Like actually this would like probably screw a lot of people, because they just assume that like, especially at here, like price would be above 100K, like it would be like around $110,000, whatever.
Yeah.
If it hits this, where everybody is going to get really excited and FOMO. And then you go into a downtrend, that's really going to like fuck some people here. And then they might think, oh shit, like bull market is over. And then like it goes back into a second curve where it ends with like the end of next year, which is typically, it should have just done one curve all the way till the end of next year, 2025. And that would put the price at like $130,000 for Bitcoin.
Yeah,
so we'll have to see how it goes.
We definitely have to see if it can make that. The other thing that kind of like feeds the narrative of we can get this kind of touch to the top of our model there sooner, I think has to do with the money that's actually involved in the market this time around is different than the money that has been involved in the market before. So because of the spot ETF approval, you can now buy, cryptocurrencies from your IRA account. Like you can buy them from your retirement, accounts. That also opens up the floodgates, so to speak, for money that has maybe been interested but not been able to participate in these markets. That would be certain hedge funds, certain funds in general that, are managed by money managers. Money managers are only allowed to purchase, equity assets that have certain regulatory like approvals, and those assets aren't Bitcoin, but they are Bitcoin spot ETFs. And therefore now you can have, this money that hasn't been able to participate in this market at all actually can participate slightly more indirectly, but still is participating.
Walter had a question about that. Maybe that will maybe be a different week when Sid's not here, but Tolter asked a tech talk about on MicroStrategy and Bitcoin ETFs would be cool. Like, I guess if you want to participate in that, how you would do that? Because can't you like doesn't that mean you can like take your retirement and buy into that? Or like, I don't know, I'm fucking dumb, but is that what that means?
Yeah, you totally can. Yeah, you can.
I mean, Max, we've been sort of like telling people in the Maxi group, like some people have been buying the ETFs. Maybe like I don't remember the tickers, but like
we have a list pinned in our Discord
somewhere
for like which ETFs people should be participating in from that. But yeah, like you're saying, what you'd want to do basically, if you have like an IRA account, like through, like let's just say like the way I had mine set up initially was like I had a 401k at a job that I had where the company was matching the 401k, and then you had to use like I think it was Vanguard or I forget who I think it might have been Vanguard, but it was like Vanguard was like the management firm. And
I think I found the tickers.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
it was in our Maxi Discord. But
yeah, these are the different names of the different ETFs. So if you want the like BlackRock Bitcoin one, it's IBIT.
So you can find this at like any of your like stock app.
Yeah,
and you can find it in your IRA account thing too.
Exactly. So what you would need, like if you had the 401k, what I had to end up doing was like you would basically go to your bank and create what's called a self-regulated IRA account. And that's basically an IRA account still, but you are now the custodian and the money manager. No longer is it going to be Fidelity or Vanguard or whatever. And then you tell the bank like, okay, I have my 401k with Vanguard. I want to transfer the money from them into my self-regulated IRA account. The bank should be able to like handle all of the like paperwork and everything for you. And because you're moving from an IRA, like a 401k, which is an IRA account, into a self-regulated IRA account, this is not a taxable event. So you can basically pull your money from whatever it's invested in at Vanguard into cash and have the cash deposited into an IRA account at your bank. And then you can use that IRA account the same way you might use your stock brokerage account, and use it then to buy shares of IBIT if you want Bitcoin exposure from the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. If you wanted, for example, like the Fidelity one, then you could buy BTC. But at this point, you would basically just have what's called a self-regulated IRA account, which is just another account that you manage in your, however you manage your banking app. You do it from your desktop. You can do it from your cell phone app. But those funds are then able to be used to buy shares, to buy ETFs, to buy whatever you want. But you can't withdraw the money into cash into your, liquid accounts without, triggering either fees or early withdrawal fees from an IRA. But by establishing a self-regulated IRA account at your bank, you basically can then withdraw anything from existing 401ks or IRAs into that account, tax-free, non-taxable event style, and use that money to basically invest into shares of stuff that you want to invest into personally, as well as cutting out any sort of like money manager fee that you're paying. I think I was paying.
Follow-up question, which might be dumb. That's what I'm here for. The dumb questions that maybe other people will relate to. But is that like, if you're buying, are you buying like a share of Bitcoin they own? Like, do you actually own the Bitcoin, or like?
Yeah,
like,
so that's exactly.
Also, just second part of that question: is there a possibility where it like becomes like FTX, where like you buy it, they own it, and they fucking somehow buy some other shit with it, and then lose your money, or is it because it's like? Like, is it more regulated because it's under an ETF? I like, how is the ETF different than like just earning on FTX, I guess?
Yes.
Also, Max, I don't think you need to like start a separate like self-regulated. Like, I have a friend who he just has a Robinhood IRA account on Robinhood, and he can just like buy IBIT or whatever. Because
that
would
be like the IRA account he has on Robinhood that's a self-regulated IRA account, so you could do.
So when you start it, it's automatically.
And if he had, let's say, like his Vanguard account with his like at his job with his 401k, he could then be like from Robinhood, be like, can transfer Vanguard balance into my IRA account, and then
like
you could
roll
just
over.
Robinhood app. Yeah, but the only difference, of course, is when you just have your regular Robinhood app account, you can withdraw the money back to your regular bank account and then use it to pay rent or whatever. The IRA account won't let you withdraw. You can hold the money in cash, but you can't withdraw it into your bank account. And that's only, you can withdraw it. There is fees for early withdrawals, and then those fees are also waived. There's certain instances where you can basically contribute your money tax-free to your IRA account, grow it by participating in whatever you're trading, and then there's certain things that you can do with it that let you spend the money without penalty as well. So such as putting a down payment on your very first home, which you can basically take money from your IRA account tax-free, and therefore you can contribute it tax-free and spend it tax-free on stuff like that. There's also conditions where if in a certain year that you are withdrawing it, your income was below a specific threshold, the fees for early withdrawals can be waived. So I've had that happen before, where I made very little money one year, so I had to dip into my IRA account, and I was able to pull money out of it without having to pay any fees or taxes as well. So there are options. In general, it's not a bad idea to have an IRA account because you're planning for retirement that way.
Right. It's tax-free retirement.
And then the other alternative is like a Roth IRA account, which is where you pay the taxes before you add the money into them. And then later when you do retire, there is no tax leveled against the account. With your IRA account in the future, when you take the money out, when you are retired, you're going to be paying income taxes on that money, because you're basically using it as like, it's paying your income. Like you can set yourself to like a fixed income or whatever, but then you're paying taxes on that. If it was paying from a Roth IRA, you would not pay taxes on it, and you're paying taxes on the full value of the account. So that means you're paying taxes also on the gains that you've made over the years. And for that reason, a Roth IRA might be more attractive, because if you plan to like invest well and like triple your money, then you're not paying any taxes on the triple, like on any of that gain. You've paid taxes on putting the money in, but you're not paying any taxes on the money that you've made
profit.
when you pull it out. Exactly. So that's two kind of options to consider there. Both of them
I feel like this is a good time to put the disclaimer that we are not licensed financial advisors. We are not advising anyone to do anything with their money, just trying to inform people on the options that do exist. But we don't know people's financial situations. And if we did, we're not licensed to do that. So contact someone that knows your situation that is licensed to do that if you want.
Talk to an investment advisor and make sure that they have a fiduciary license. A fiduciary license means that they have a commitment to make you money, not like if you talk to an advisor at a bank that like, oh, want to talk to one of our financial people, be like, absolutely, if they have a fiduciary license. Because if they don't, then they might be like, oh, the best thing to do with your money is to put it into these accounts. And they'll tell you that because they get a kickback on money that they add to those accounts.
Right. They don't care if it's going up.
They won't have an obligation to disclose that conflict of interest with you unless they are a fiduciary. So keep that word in mind.
And side note on that, you might see the bottom here, we have a ticker for Maxi, which is Max and Sid's names combined, but that's a company they started, which isn't financial advice, but it's a community of people who do like investing and technical analysis and chart reading stuff. And they have like, when we were looking at the charts that Sid was showing, where it says like bull and bear, and it's like printing those, that's an algorithm that they made. So if you are interested in that and you do your own trading and you think that could be beneficial, they have a subscription where you can use that. What is it called? Like a script or what?
It's an indicator. So like if you have, what it does is like, this is TradingView. TradingView is like free. Anyone can like just make an account, but that's what I use to basically look at charts. Like you can search for like any ticker, whether it's crypto, stocks, mutual funds, whatever. So by default, like actually like it just, this is what, if I turn it off, if anybody like, sees a chart, like this is what by default it looks like. So there's no indication of like what the trend is going to be. You know what I mean? So what our little tool does is it overlays, it crunches these, the data, the price data, and what it's doing is it's overlaying the result, and it gives you like, basically it helps you helps show what the trend is. Like bear just means that it's going to go down. Bull just means that like price is going to go up. So you can, even if you don't know like fancy TA or trading analysis or whatever, you can just like use this to to help trade or whatever. So
the idea is for it to be like as easy as possible was like our goal. Like the idea is like we want it so that anyone who isn't like an expert can like sign up, have access to this tool, only need the one indicator, turn that on, and then immediately be able to look at the chart and be like, oh, it's the candles are green, so it's moving up. So it'll change like the colors of the candles and everything for you, and make it kind of like very
green and bull up, red and bear down. That's
exactly. And then so like you're seeing here on the left side, you see how it did print bear there, but the color didn't flip on the ETH chart there. I think it is on the right.
Oh yeah, here.
Yeah, so it looks like you did get that print, but you want that print, like you said, the bear print plus red on the band. We didn't get the red, so then we could understand that as a fake out.
So and, if I change it to
avoid getting faked out, and that kind of
so
it works relatively well. If you could check it out on our site. We did back tests. You can also obviously sign up and try it for a month for free and do your own back tests and see how you like it. I mean, it's not like
just try it out.
You also get access to Discord community, which Max and Sid are in and very active. So if you have questions about technical stuff, I mean, pretty much
Yeah, that's
anytime
true.
I want to know something about crypto, I ask Max, and he's been helpful. So if you are a novice and you don't necessarily know what you're looking at, you can ask them.
Yeah, we
tried
got into
to.
this stuff years and years ago, and have made all the mistakes that you can possibly make. So before you
Yeah.
make the mistake yourself, join, ask the question, and we'll tell you how poorly that would go or how well it might go.
Yeah, because like, we all, when we're starting out, like I've lost money too, like making, because
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm self-taught. Nobody taught
Yeah,
me.
tuition
So
ain't
I did
cheap.
it the hard
I
way,
lost like
tuition.
$100,000.
Exactly. You get
Easily.
it wrong and you lose money. But like, I mean, the whole reason that me and Max started this was like, hey, we're anyway doing this for friends and family. Like we're anyway like helping people. So we're
Last
like,
few weeks we've actually started investing the company's money into the markets as well, and it's kind of awesome. Yeah. So,
because like crypto is in a bull market, we're more exposed,
we
or
put
we
our
want to buy
treasury,
more crypto
our
and catch the
treasuries, our treasury split 80-20 Bitcoin and Ethereum Bitcoin, so more Ethereum than Bitcoin.
Yeah, and actually I can show you the reason for that, because let's see.
Before we get too far, did you ever address what are the security risks of an ETF versus just owning Bitcoin?
Oh yeah. Let me address that. So yes, it is absolutely different from an FTX style situation. In FTX, you had like FTX was the person basically writing the IOU, if you will, for what their asset was. Like when you held Bitcoin at FTX, what you really held there, and this is still true for every exchange. What you hold on an exchange when you deposit your Bitcoin or when you purchase Bitcoin on the exchange, as long as it's on the exchange, what you have is an IOU from this institution saying I owe you, whatever balance of Bitcoin or whatever balance of any crypto that you have there. That IOU is as good as the institution's solvency. Full stop. And that's it. There is nothing else backing it. It's just the single institution. In this case, it was FTX. So the difference with an ETF is that the SEC, which is the Securities and Exchange Commission, has set a foundation of fail-safes and investor protections that a ETF supplier must adhere to and meet in order to be approved to list their asset on the stock exchange. And so the ETF, like from BlackRock, for example, is not just tradable on BlackRock. You can buy those tickers on Robinhood, on anywhere else. It's not just limited to the singular market, which is the biggest difference here. And then secondly, the backing of the ETF is not only not exclusively held by BlackRock. So actually, I think Coinbase holds a decent amount of custodial wallets for BlackRock's ETF. But on top of that,
and Gemini
Gemini owns some, and so it's like split across multiple like custodial services. These are what would you call it? Institutional custodial services. So those are like programs that Coinbase and Gemini offers to other banks. You probably can't participate in that as an individual, but those services are then adhering to transparency and auditing rules that are again set in place and monitored by the Securities and Exchange Commission to verify on a regular basis from a third-party auditing party, basically, that the backing is actually accurate to the amount issued. Again, when you compare that to something like what was happening on FTX or Celsius or a lot of these other now defunct places, a lot of the difference here is the third-party audits and third-party custodial services. So versus everything self-contained in one little place, and if that place fails, then goodbye money. The ETF is built in a way where, sure, one company, in this case, let's say BlackRock, is issuing this asset, but the asset, in order to be issued publicly the way it currently now is, and it has finally got its approval, has to be issued in a way that is, backed by multiple custodians, distributed across, whatever risk profile distribution the SEC has set in place. And then those balances that are being maintained have to be at minimum 1-to-1. So if BlackRock sells 1 Bitcoin worth of their ETF, they must own 1 Bitcoin in their custodial accounts. And that 1-to-1 balance is being constantly verified by a third party. And again, in FTX's case, FTX was the people verifying it, and they would be like, "Trust me, bro, it's all there." So the big difference here is you're not trusting them, you're trusting the financial system to do its job and protect the consumer. And that's a big part of why it took so long to get the approval in the first place, is because the SEC had to define the rules of like, well, in order to allow, the general public, Joe Schmo or, Sid's grandma and her IRA account to invest into these assets, we need to make sure that Sid's grandma can't be robbed by, some idiot like FTX's Sam Bankman.
Right.
Because someone did over leveraged themselves in a bear market like a fucking moron.
Yeah,
so,
I'm like, he should have just seen the chart or had an indicator.
How are you going fucking doubling down on going long and the market's 50% down, signaling red all over?
Right. But whatever. And also I think a huge difference is BlackRock and you can see BlackRock, Fidelity, all these companies are publicly traded,
yes,
who've been around for
a
long time. BlackRock
has
trillions
all the money.
Trillions of dollars, not in billions, right? They're the biggest asset management
tens of trillions. They are the biggest investment firm in the biggest investment bank in the world. They own everything. Basically, if the Bitcoin they have was to be stolen, they have enough money to just cover it. They would be we have to make up this $6 billion hole. That's not a fucking problem for BlackRock.
Yeah, if something happens, but I don't think it will, because it's publicly traded. They have all these requirements.
I mean, they also are they're custodian for Circle for the
USDC, right?
The USDC peg. So the US dollars that back up USDC, if you've ever traded with USDC or hold USDC as some sort of US dollar peg, BlackRock maintains that peg. And holy shit, is that a lucrative business? Because they have $6 billion in treasury bonds that are being used to issue $6 billion worth of USDC. And then BlackRock gets to keep the treasury yield.
They invested into other
stuff. They're making tens of millions of dollars a year in just interest on the money that they've issued as cash on the blockchain. They don't owe that interest to the blockchain. They can just keep that. It's and that's a very small part of their business. BlackRock is when you think of the company that owns everything in the world, it's BlackRock.
It's BlackRock. I mean, I think Blackstone was a spin-off from, or they're owned by BlackRock, which everybody knows is the biggest real estate.
Yeah, exactly. But let's take a look here now, because
Mocha also had a question. I believe this is probably about your fee. He was just saying, what do you think the minimum amount you'd have to trade is that would make worth the subscription to Maxi?
Yeah, I guess a lot of people are trading with I'd say mid 5 figures or so that are, generally speaking, it's not if you're only trading with $100 or $500, it's true, $68 a month is going to be more than your profit margin should be expected to be, because at that point, you're looking to make 10% a month, and that's unsustainably unrealistic. But I would say generally, a lot of our members are more well off than I am.
I mean, we've been doing 10-15% easy on just with plain stock trades.
That's true.
Not even leverage or any of it's boring stocks, just plain old just buy and sell stocks.
That's true. I checked my what is it, Charles Schwab account this morning. My year to date just on trading stocks is 77%, and we're like 3 months into the year. So
that's crazy.
It's definitely
I'm at 60 something too. Yeah.
And that's just that's not like options or leverage trading. No. That's literally just buying shares, holding them, selling them, buying other shares. But yeah, so I would say generally, if I would recommend, I'd say probably like $5,000, you'd be pretty comfortably able to afford that like monthly cost, and it shouldn't be. I do understand that, like, yeah, it is kind of like a premium like service, and it is like a bit of a niche, but a lot of like I love people post, like, I think the other day someone posted like how they made over a year worth of our subscription cost before lunch just on a single trade that we were. So it's like it very much is a function. It's very much a function of percentage. And so that is an appropriate thing to kind of like call to attention. If you don't, bring a certain base level of liquidity or of capital with you to participate, then the function of percentage is going to work against you, and it might be not worth your while. And I think in order to get that idea for yourself, try the free trial.
Yeah, exactly.
After a
month, if you do the free month, are you earning more than you would be if you were not using the service in the fee?
I think so.
Because whatever you made the month prior that you make is like that covering the fee or not. So I feel like that's sort of up to an individual to decide more than.
So, and that's why we do the free month to begin with, because it is like hard. Everyone does have like their own thresholds and their own like understanding of it, and it's a really hard pitch to make. To try to get someone to pay, an amount that they don't want to pay. So then it's just like, you know what? Try it for free. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. But I will say the people who have signed up, which again, that's like the big hurdle, is to get people to actually like sign up. But the people
because
who have
it's niche and like making someone understand what we're doing.
Once people get into it, like our like retention rate is really, really high. Like a lot of our members have been there since we started, and like are not like they don't like quit.
They don't want to leave, like, which is great.
Yeah, and then the few times I think like one person had to leave because he had like a death in the family, and one person left because of the actor strike. And for both of them, I was like, oh, like, no problem, you can keep it if you want for now, because obviously we support, like, we're real people, we're not like crazy. But a big part of it is also like, it's that function of percentage. So there is that threshold, and I think the best way to assess it yourself is to just try the free trial, and if it's not for you, then it's not for you, and there won't be any hard feelings. Don't worry.
It's risk-free trial.
Mad about it.
You can cancel anytime.
But it's definitely like a bit of a niche service product, and it's definitely also like a niche corner of like the internet. Like, for example, I'm really into, as you've maybe noticed from watching our Wednesday streams, I'm really into liquidity farming and yield farming and making money with those types of strategies. And I am under the impression that, like, it's such an easy strategy. It's like barely any risk on the downside. Like I've been showing people in our group how to do like the Lido wrapped staked ETH farms. There's pretty much no impermanent loss. There's like, I'm making between like 40 and 60% APR on my ETH.
Yeah, here, this is my pool.
Like a fucking no-brainer. Like, why the fuck? Look at that. You made that
like,
it's already $1.20.
It's just, this is just like in half a day. Like, basically I added to this pool, and this is just like, I don't know, 3-4 hours I made this. And because of you, I mean, like
I figured this is such an easy sell to people, but man, like I'm surprised by like the amount of like members who are like, yeah, this is cool, but like what like dog coin should I buy, or what meme thing? And it's just like shit. Like even with the niche audience, like you still want these shit coins, which is fine. Like I get it, like it's fun. I fuck with shit coins too, but like I'm a little biased because I'm like, well, these strategies are just easy. I mean, you're using Uniswap, like that's the blue chip of blue chip like exchanges out there, and you're using Uniswap with ETH. Like, and it's like we're not looking for shit coins to do well in order to make money with those strategies.
Right.
but
And
it's still a hard sell.
yeah, because like it's
be.
like for you it's like LP like farming and stuff. For me it's mostly trading. So I think it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, we also like trying to educate and teach people. So like, you know,
that's
so like a lot of people, like they're just starting out or they don't know much about trading. So go over like the basics and stuff.
Yeah.
Like how to trade.
And I have gotten a few people into like the liquidity stuff because a lot of people who aren't into trading are more open to that. Because they're like, I don't know, I don't want to really trade. And it's just like, okay, well, how about
they don't have the time. Yeah.
Yeah, just all you need to do is a single, like it's a one-time thing. You can check in on this once a week, no big deal. And you know, it's a pretty easy sell to someone who's not trying to trade. But then someone who's trying to trade and trying to catch like a meme coin pump, you know, that's what they want is, you know, it's like, hey, which meme coin should I be looking at? And of course,
I mean, which we do that.
We do that too. Yeah, it's like, well,
we trade Doge, Shiba, Pepe, all these things.
Pepe,
you know, like
Mochi, Toshi, like a bunch of meme coins. We're still waiting for Wax to get their shit together because the meme coins are on fire lately. Wax needs to get its Woof token out there, Woofy. Because they're doing right now they're doing like a Solana snapshot for Boink. If you stake Boink to like a distribution contract and lock it for I believe a month, then you get an airdrop for Woofy as well. But they need to do it sooner than later, I think.
I made a Woof meme yesterday, first one, trying to contribute to the Woof. Let me see, I can show it on screen real quick.
Oh, nice. Yeah, for Woof. Yeah, you wanna? Oh, there it is.
Oh,
right.
One small step for Woof, one giant leap for Woof kind. And I was using a AI art generator.
Yeah. That's pretty solid.
I thought it was stupid.
Which one did you use? The AI?
It was. I don't know. I just googled. I could probably find it. AI art generator.
It's the future, baby.
I think it was Hotpot.ai. Yeah, it's this one. This one's also pretty cool. It has a AI editing, so like it has an object remover, so like it was creating stuff I didn't like in the background, and then I was able to just like take a brush and then delete that.
That's cool, yeah.
Nice.
But yeah.
That's fun. That picture turned out great.
Yeah, that's kind
of
cool.
AI artwork is getting out there, man.
Yeah, I also like it has a thing where it's like what to do and then what not to do. And like it kept drawing like 9 planets. I was like, this doesn't look like the moon and Earth. So I was like, only draw one planet in the background. Don't draw multiple planets. And I was like, and I kept doing like American flags all over the astronaut thing. And I was like, well, if this is gonna be a global community, I don't want it to be like all USA. So I had it remove any flags and like I don't know, did a pretty good job at taking the prompts.
Yeah.
I spent way too much time on it for how stupid it is. I was like
imagine Woof moons and Wax just sits idle. Well, that's part of what Sid and I want to look at the charts here for a second, and then let's start with Bitcoin and ETH. Like we wanted, I keep sidetracking us, so that's my bad.
Yeah. Sorry. So I mean I had this up because like you were saying that we bought more Ethereum than Bitcoin. And the reason was that, you know, I mean, part of trading is like, trading is like catching the trend, looking at where support and resistance lines are or zones are, and then like also pattern recognition. I mean, that's a huge thing too. Like, you know, I don't come from a math background. Like, you know, I'm an artist in VFX. That's my background. But
it's crazy how good you are at this TA stuff, because like you tell me so many things that like help me make decisions in like this stuff. But then when I get into the math of it, you're like, well, like let's not talk about
numbers. Too many numbers.
Like don't like say all that stuff without the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. Because for me, I mean, like I think like it visually makes a lot of sense for me, you know, and that's how like trading is, and that's why I'm good at it, because like. It makes a lot of sense, and so part of that trading is pattern recognition, and I recognize that, like, you know, I'm spending hours like looking at charts all day, but I was looking at the monthly chart for Ethereum and Bitcoin, and that's when I recognized like basically Bitcoin is doing this, like, you know, it's in this sort of like curved channel. It looks like a banana, but like Ethereum is in a wedge or a triangle. So like it seems to be sort of like price seems to be bouncing within this like sort of wedge pattern, and so like it connects. So what I did was just like take the top of it, connect it with a line and extend it. Same thing for the bottom. And so and I drew this out, and the bottom was the bottom too, so it like we could catch the bottom that way. But the top for this, and if it's like okay, if like the crypto bull market is still following the same cycle of like topping out in 2026, right? So then we can see where price might be in 2026 for Ethereum. So on the right side of the screen, so like say like this is here, Jan 2026 is around here, or December 2025. That would put the price of Ethereum close to like $19,000. If it like stays within this like pattern, like patterns can break, of course, but like but so far it seems to have held. So we'll have to see. And like Bitcoin, similarly at like December 2025 or Jan 2026, it's like $130,000, right, for Bitcoin. So like, but if
then the upside potential of Ethereum is way more, because we're talking
exactly
4,000 to 18 versus 70,000 to 120. So
that's exactly,
and therein lies why we're splitting 80% of our crypto investment into ETH and only 20% into Bitcoin, is because we're looking for the more aggressive upside potential.
That sort of like goes across the whole crypto market too, and that's why you can see like meme coins going up 1,000%, because the more mature a market is, the harder it is to move that needle, because there's already so much money into it. And that's why a lot of like degen people are all into like, I don't care about Bitcoin, I just want like what's the new thing that's going to go crazy, and because it's easier to pump that stuff than it is Bitcoin.
It definitely makes it easy to feel like you missed your chance to buy Bitcoin too, especially as a newcomer. People come into this market and they see Bitcoin at 70,000 and they're like, okay, well, I mean, I don't have 70,000, so like I'll just look for what's the cheaper coin. And then that is understandable again, but I also feel like it's a bit of a mistake to ignore Bitcoin.
The opposite is also true though. When the market goes down, it's way easier to lose 10,000% on your meme coin than it like Bitcoin's not going to go like 10,000% probably.
Because your meme coin's dropping 98%, and then Bitcoin for sure might drop like 40.
Because like like and the thing is like I'd like to keep a tab on like Bitcoin as the main chart, even though I'm trading a bunch of other coins and whatever in crypto, because like Bitcoin is like sort of like the main coin, and the market moves with it. Like so like if Bitcoin is in a major bear market or downtrend, then all the other coins are going to go into a downtrend. So that's why like we look at that to like just see the overall like market sentiment for it. But like if it follows this, then like I mean I would definitely, I mean for me at least, that is what I'm doing, like is starting to take profits once it like price hits the top of the line. Or we just like, it's easy, what we do is like we just wait for the indicator to basically tell us when the top is. Like last time, that's what it did, like it's close to the top. See,
that's how we were calling bear around 58, 55, 58K, is because that's when we saw the weekly flipped red, and that was pretty much it. It's like, okay, cool, we're getting
so
the
it's
top.
like exactly. And so so that's kind of like my price predictions for Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Go a little bit, go on the daily, because we've been trading a daily.
Sure.
We've been trading a daily like what was it, bull flag breakout, and Elsie's saying, I've had a hard time. She says, I've had a hard time reading charts. People start talking about cup and handles and pennants, and I don't get it. And so We do
Yeah.
we do a little bit of that too. So I
Yes.
wanted to pull up. Do you have like the
Oh, a
target?
cup
of,
and
like, the
handle?
last one? Yeah, or the cup and handle. That's a decent one. The cup and
I
handle,
think
I
with
think, is playing out.
Microsoft.
Yeah,
Let me see.
or on the SPY and the QQQ. Those definitely look kind of cup and handle.
Yeah.
But
Didn't
even
you say
the
Wax was cup and handle last week?
oh, was that
No,
it?
it's in a Wax. If you look at Wax, oh, so another pattern that Bitcoin right now
Yeah,
is
here we go.
in.
This one.
This is called just a bull pennant. Pennant just means a wedge, so any like triangle sort of shape. So it looks like price is grinding up, and so there are a lot of patterns like this, right? So there's like, the other one is like a bull flag, where like basically instead of a triangle, you just get like parallel straight lines. So that's the other thing. So
Yeah,
like,
that's what we had previous to this pennant. You can see kind of where the market came up and then went flat line. That flat line was the bull flag.
Exactly. And I think I shared like the chart and like the
you literally shared it with the
thing,
target,
and it hit the target.
We've hit the target now. So this new pennant
This is
here
a new one.
That's the next target. So that's
And that would like put the price above like $80,000 for Bitcoin. And Ethereum is also in a similar looking pattern, and that would like the breakout would put it above like 46,000, 4.6.
How do you measure the breakout for such a pattern?
Yeah, so what you do is like it's not super complicated. What you do is like where this channel is, right? Like think of it. So what you do is you're drawing a line from the top of it to kind of like the bottom, like where like the previous range sort of stopped. So you see like, and think of it like a flagpole. That's what we call it. And then what you do is like, I do Control-C, Control-V to copy and paste, and literally like copy it over to the breakout point. And so it should break out like it's similar length to the run-up.
See. So then
that's how you make.
And then the breakout point comes kind of like at the point where the wedge pinches, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or actually where the price will start to break out. So
I guess where it
breaks out here, then you like move it, or it can just keep grinding till here and then break out. In that case, like,
I see. So right now we're waiting basically for a confirmation that we're breaking out. Like we want to see the price breaking up.
Exactly. So yeah, they're just like different patterns like this where you learn you just keep looking at it all the time, and then you start learning to recognize like patterns like this.
Yeah, and that's where Sid is just like incredibly like good at. Like, so if you do sign up for like the month, like the free trial on us, and jump into the Discord, there's a section for technical analysis, and like Sid will like basically draw these types of patterns, and you can literally, what you should do is look through that channel and just see how unbelievably accurate all those posts are. Like almost all of them this year have been like, hey, this is what it looks like, and then like usually a couple weeks later it's like, yep, target hit, done. Like but it's fantastic, it's like being able to see them called out over and over again definitely helps people start to spot them. So I've definitely noticed like our members are like starting to share their own charts and like, hey, I'm seeing a wedge here, I'm seeing this here, and then Sid like can jump in and like confirm or adjust what those people are seeing and help them kind of like learn to fish rather than fish.
This was a cup and handle that we had shared. I was trying to find it on Discord, but this was Microsoft. So this was Microsoft stock, and we just jokingly call it the cup of Joe pattern, but it's called a cup and handle. But literally, it's like it's literally, and we can see like basically this was back in 2022 when the whole market, the stock market, went into a bear market along with crypto, and then price just kept going down, and then it flipped back to bull. And then so what the cup and handle is that like literally it's just a U shape, right? So think of that as the cup, and then like price like goes back down, and that's like the handle
channel.
of the cup.
and it's because it's bouncing around within that channel, and you can see that that channel is staying above our indicator's strength band. So
Yeah.
that channel remaining in a bullish trend, and then obviously it starts to break out, and then it looks like the way that we measure the breakout target for this one is going to be from the base of the cup, so the very lowest point of that
Right.
dip, to the very top of the cup. So if you kind of draw an imaginary line across the top
Yeah,
of the cup,
like
but you can kind of see that you've already drawn that blue line there. It's literally
Yeah.
that same line is copy pasted to the right to set the target. So once we
Yeah.
saw the price breaking out for Microsoft and you shared this in Discord, we knew that, hey, look, the price is breaking out. We have a new target for Microsoft. So yeah, I'm curious to see the Microsoft chart now.
yeah, like I'm just like what
Have we hit the target? I think so, right? Hey,
Oh, I still have the lines.
Oh, it's
So
yeah, you still have the like cup and handle list. But yeah, look at that.
didn't realize.
It
So
looks
we're like
we're actually not there
so
yet.
see
We're
like
almost there.
this was shared when it was like just starting breakout and price was like $362 for Microsoft. Right now it's
We're
at like 416 and it's like
still moving.
close to 3/4 off the
Yeah,
on its
it's
way
got
to
a
the
quarter of the
target.
way to go before we hit the top of that.
So
So
yeah.
it's basically 2/3 of the way through the playing out that target.
So yeah, so see this curve, that's like basically a cup,
There's the cup, yeah, and then you
and
got the
that's the
handle.
handle. So
Yeah, so these are all like, silly names, I suppose, but they're all like they're all these like patterns, that we can see. One that actually is playing out right now, that if you want to pull it up, just because I fucking love how like almost textbook it is on the DXY.
oh yeah,
Do you have that? Yeah, because that one's
yeah.
just like
Let me pull up
um
the TA
yeah,
stuff.
while you're pulling it up, the DXY is the United States like US dollar price index. So it basically shows the strength of the US dollars in the global economy. Meaning that if the DXY is increasing, that means that the dollar is gaining strength, and that usually means that people are selling stocks, selling cryptos, and buying dollars, trying to hedge into cash. Whereas when the DXY falls, it generally means that the equity markets are stronger and people are trying to get out of cash and put their cash into other investment vehicles. And so yeah, here you go on the left side there. You can see that's the DXY pattern right now. You can see we got our bear print and it's flipped red, and you see that we've been chopping around below the strength band, like the red strength band, but then we recently deviated above it for a short while, and then we're dropped back below. And oh, hey, now that the week is starting, it looks like we're starting to turn down. This is the textbook example of a Wyckoff redistribution.
So
you
like, see, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
I'm trying to see how I can like share this whole thing.
Oh, like
just do like share the whole screen as opposed to like.
Oh yeah. So you can do like picture in picture and stuff.
Yeah, picture in picture. There you go.
Yeah, here, let me add this. There you go. Yeah, now we can see them. Yeah, totally. So you can see the market coming down into that kind of like channel, and you could think of like the top line of that channel for being our indicator strength band, basically the red line. And you can see we did deviate and break above it, where we flipped to green for a hot second, but then now we're falling back into the channel, and then you can see the next phase of this distribution is market down.
Yeah. So at least it needs to confirm by like leaving this support line
at the bottom of the channel.
And and how I mark support lines, it's like support and resistance is like it's pretty simple. What I do is I start with like a high time frame chart, like weekly. Weekly is a good time frame to start with. And what I'm doing is like looking for, first I look at, first of all, what the trend is with the indicator, bearish, bullish. And then what I'm doing is like, second, I look for where the current price is. So it's right here. And then I look for where, say, like support below is. And how I mark it is that I try to draw a line which like catches the most number of candles, like including the wick. So,
including the wick.
So say here, here, here. So maybe like here, something like this.
Yeah,
that would be.
and so
But then
you're choosing that because that's where all those little like things are bouncing off of. Basically, you're trying to find the spot where most of the bounces are happening.
exactly. So this,
Even on the left,
catch
yeah,
this
look at that
guy,
one, yep.
catch this, and then actually you could just do like this guy, since like, so you would like mark one here, and then you could like mark another one here, and then so those will be support, like if price continues to keep dropping. And then above, what you do is like, you see, like I see here. So catch this,
Yep, that's a good one.
this, here. And if you see like price actually tried to like, go above it, but it got rejected here.
Today. Yeah.
So it did act as resistance here, even before, like even if I drew it, and then you like fine tune it. So like and then you like zoom into the daily chart. Here I can like, and then do the same thing. So it's the same lines. So you kind of refine it. So what you're doing is like trying to catch, so you can get this wick,
I see.
And then this thing. So so that's what like, and it's just like, it just helps you identify zones of like where possibly, like if price is dropping, then possibly you're going to look for if the price like bounces in this area, which means that, okay, then it's just going to, go back up.
The top again, yep.
Yeah, or if it loses this, then it's like,
then we're confirming that we got our
thing.
distribution. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then we're wipe offing. And that would be the kind of amazing confirmation. I'd love to see that, because that would suggest our equities are going to pump if the DXY
and crypto.
Fall. So crypto and stocks.
So if like if the dollar, US dollar, right? Like if it goes down, then crypto stocks are gonna usually pump. So it'd be good for us.
Now that we kind of went over like what the general crypto market looks like, pretty bullish, with the DXY dollars looking like it wants to sell off, so giving us a good hope for like a continued bull market here. Let's look at Wax, because I know a lot of us here are definitely like, where the fuck is my Wax pump? Like I'm watching all these other coins fly. What's happening with Wax? So let's see. How's Wax looking?
Yeah, so I started with the weekly chart again, and I drew this out earlier, and I think I shared it on the group. Because like it seemed like Wax was like, first just like trading in a range, just price constantly just bouncing around, not really like, going back into an uptrend. And then I kind of noticed that you see this wick here, and then there's another wick here, and then here. And then so if you get three of those, touches or whatever, then you can, and if you notice that like it's in a, it's at least I saw that it was in a trend line, so that's why I drew this. And which meant that like price would just keep bouncing till it would only start its next leg up if it like goes above the trend line. And our indicator had like already like said that it was bullish with the green band flip around in like November 2023. And price was still like chopping, but then that sort of ended up being the bottom, because like finally it broke out, and so finally. Now it's like
how long ago did that trend line start? Where is that? That's like a year.
That's like
over a year.
2022.
Almost 2 years.
It's 2 years, baby. Yeah, all right. It's finally breaking out here. It looks like the last 3 or 4 weeks, we're finally getting the price action that confirms a breakout of that trend line.
Right.
So what are we looking for this breakout? Where's it going?
So
making me rich.
Right. And usually like
let's go.
after after the price breaks out, usually you want to see price sort of do a retest, or actually like it drops and then bounces on it. And I changed
With
the
that
chart to
wick,
the
it
daily
almost
chart.
looks like it did that,
Yep.
right? When that on the
Yeah,
daily, we
SR
got
flip,
the
we call
SR.
it.
That's the SR flip. That's exactly what I want to see. So the
So-
SR flip just stands for support resistance flip. So if we're flipping what used to be resistance, which is that trend line, into support,
Mhm.
which is now the bouncing board where it's bouncing off of.
So yeah,
So-
so it usually it needs to
yeah.
do that for it to like continue up, and which is what it did. So it
So
looks
weekly
like
time frame looks bullish. That's very
super
good.
bullish. Like
Yeah,
that's good.
extremely
And then I
bullish.
think I drew out some lines. I know this is probably a lot.
Lots
like-
of resistance. Hey, this is the nice thing of having a token that's already hit a ridiculously higher all-time high. Like we're more than 10x from our previous all-time high. So we have a lot of resistance level. We can chart the resistance. We know what we're expecting.
Yeah. So the next one is like 0.144. Looking at this again,
Which is-
looking at the weekly chart, and it's like, yeah, some of these will be crossed like without much resistance, and some will take a little more, but it'll also depend on what Bitcoin is also doing. You know what I mean? But
yeah, that's true.
like that's why it's good to like check in with Bitcoin to see how
Lately,
that's doing.
it has been left behind a little bit. I felt like, Wax is just kind of in, just starting to break out of its downtrend, like in the last month or so. Bitcoin's been running for like 2 or 3 months now.
Yeah, and I think, but that's
which is
usually the
standard.
cycle.
Yeah, exactly. It's standard. We want to see, like, we
the-
generally see the blue chips and the big tokens pump, and then follow that into like the tertiary assets.
Wax is also like a 200 plus market cap token right now.
Yeah.
Like it's not in the same league as a lot of the stuff that's pumping.
Right.
Also,
And-
moving into this new market too, Wax is changing its its distribution, or its, what is it called? Its minting structure is different this time around too, to the sense where block producers are no longer paid in a fixed Wax amount. Rather, it's based on US dollars. So that also means that as the price of Wax increases in US dollar equivalent, the amount of new Wax being generated and given to block producers decreases. So this has a really interesting kind of like mechanism where deflation in the Wax ecosystem is driven by positive price action, and obviously deflation drives positive price action. So this will be really interesting to see how that plays out, because this is the first time around that we're going to see that.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
is
like also like the flow, generally how the crypto market works is like Bitcoin tends to pump first, then and then the other blue chips like Ethereum and like, I don't know, maybe all the other so-called like big market cap tokens, and then the money is like sort of flows into like smaller tokens after that, like say like Wax or whatever, and then so like that cycle is sort of like usually the way how tokens pump, and then like it goes back into Bitcoin pumps, cools off a little bit, and then the other coins start pumping, and then finally you'll get they take profit with the whales take profit with like the whole thing by like where everything just like drops just to like cool off.
Yeah, exactly. That's when the fun's over and we want to move back to our stables, or
right. So like, but yeah, Wax is,
until then, what do we
hasn't.
You think we have a chance to make it back to these all-time highs in like a bull run? What do you think?
Yeah, I think,
or higher, lower. Where would you say?
I think higher. Actually, I know a lot of you guys have just been bag holding Wax, which is great. I mean,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like, I know the last time high was like 0.98 or something, close to $1.
Just under $1. Yeah.
And I think usually like if the chain is not like completely dead, like, or it's rug pull like Luna or something like that.
And I got to give it to Wax. Wax is
make
definitely an active chain. Like there's still people like who don't give a shit about crypto and the market activity, who are here playing games, collecting NFTs, and that's really cool too.
Right. And I think like, and also the longer the range and breakout, like the higher it goes. That's what they say. So like the fact that it's been chopping around, or it's just been accumulating since 2022. I definitely, or at least my guess is that you're going to see new highs, not just like $1. So I don't know how much, like maybe, I don't know, like $5 then would be the next sort of like psychological resistance, right? After the $1 is crossed.
$5?
I'm just saying, like, I don't think I don't know if it'll push there, but like, we're definitely going to see, I think we're going to see more than $1 for sure. Like, I don't see why that wouldn't be possible.
5 would be insane.
2 or 3 would be possible. $2 or $3.
2 or 3, I'd be very, very excited to see that. That'd be nuts.
A lot of the neon people would be rich.
Hey, the neon counterpart to the liquidity pool will be working hard too. I mean, I don't move that
that's
shit,
true.
So that's great.
So
I'm into it.
But you know, like, I mean, it's not a bad idea taking profits. Like, once you like,
that's for sure.
Like $1, that there's probably going to be a sell-off around here. So like, it wouldn't hurt to take some profit.
Yeah,
$1.
It's definitely.
Anybody missed earlier, they're talking about, like, even though their indicator that they have printed bull months and months ago, they didn't just suddenly buy 100% in. Like, even Max and Cedar are very good at this, scale in and scale out. Like, trying to catch the absolute top and bottom is like not really possible most of the time.
Not a real strategy.
Kind of a losing game. So like, you want to kind of have points where Max was saying, like, if my position 3x's, then I sell a third. So then house money is gone, and then if I want to risk the rest for the moonshot, then I can. But like, having those strategies, like, just because Sid said it might hit $5, not selling anything until it hits $5, probably not financial advice, but probably is not the best strategy to just hope that happens.
I mean, if we make it to $1, I'm definitely gonna take some profits on the way up. It's also, like I was saying, Mocha Twitchers gets it here. It's like wax gets more deflationary the higher the price gets. So, you know, right now we're making, you know, 70, maybe 100 wax a week or something on a like 10,000 wax stake. That won't be as high when the market is that high. You're not going to be pulling us, you know, $70, $80, $100 or whatever a week. It'll be like $1 equivalent. But all the wax that you have, that will be, you know, that should be doing quite well. And so that's a big the big kind of like takeaway. I'm excited to see how it plays out for this coming like wax cycle. Is, you know, how is the upgrade to the tokenomics going to play into this, especially because, you know, it had been for the longest time, you know, a fixed wax amount that gets generated and distributed to BPs. And then if wax were to be, let's say let's say wax does make it to $5 or whatever, then a BP would be getting paid like $100,000 every couple weeks and just dump the money, you know, and it's like that, it wouldn't sustain that price action. And I think what wax is trying to do with these new tokenomics is create like the circumstances that allow for such a breakout, but then also kind of capture the ability to retain some of that value. So it's not just a pump and then just drop back down as the cycle, you know, cycles. And I'm really excited to see how well that actually plays out.
I'm also excited to see they're still working on like the whole EVM on Antelope. So like, you'll be able to basically just copy paste Ethereum based dApps onto EOS blockchains, which I think EOS is just called Antelope now. I don't think EOS.io is even a thing. Like, that's the old name, the dead name for EOS, but now it's
the dead name.
Now it's Antelope. But
I agree that the block producers selling wax as wax was falling absolutely doesn't help. And when you have that amount of wax, it's, you know, it's a lot of sell pressure.
They're also trying to build in like gas fees, as far as if you don't stake wax, then you can just burn wax to the send.
Yeah, which adds more to like the deflationary use case. I also like the fact that you know, like, it'll operate in a way that most people are familiar with who are coming from Ethereum based you know, experiences. They don't have to learn a whole new infrastructure. They can just use it the way that they're familiar with. And I think that's a great like move. I personally will continue to stake because I like free transactions. I think it's a really great model. Honestly, if Ethereum allowed me to do that, I would do that as well. But I do like the idea of like, let's onboard people and not expect them to learn new infrastructure.
Not only that, but the biggest problem on Wax is bots, and people just make a million accounts and they get free transactions on all of their accounts and then just clutter the entire network. So now they're like, hey, if you want to do that and you want to click Alien Worlds every 5 minutes, you got to reinvest in the network. Like, you can't just do that for free. And I think that's going to allow them to go back to, because now you have to pay Wax to create a new Wax wallet, which like for people who are just trying to collect like baseball cards or Funko or whatever, like they're not signed up for centralized exchanges. They don't have a way to get 5 Wax, even if it's a small barrier. So the new like gas fee thing makes it so they can combat bots, and then they go back to being anybody can sign up for a wallet for free because you can no longer abuse the system. And then you just have to spend Wax to do transactions. And I feel like that's going to like reduce a lot of clutter on chain and hopefully make it easier to onboard the real people that do want to participate in the legitimate projects.
Yeah, I think so too. But there's one more thing I wanted to look at because we like to do like we have our Wax invested for the coming week, and last week let me pull up my wallet here and see where we're at, and let's take a look at the charts and see what we should do with our 100 Wax this week. Normally, I do what we've been doing today, kind of I take a look at the charts and then we'll make decisions based on that, but I think there is
if anybody doesn't come here often, we do this every Wednesday, and Moko is saying, I don't have 4 to 5 figures to be trading on crypto, and if you just want to hang out and do the small stuff with us every Wednesday, we trade like, what was it, like $5 worth of Wax you started with?
I think we started with like $10 total because it was 10 cents and we did 100 Wax, so
and Max
a little bit more accessible.
Max was showing that it's possible on Wax to trade without a lot of money, and we go over like general market sentiments. We don't have the Sid, the master of TA, every Wednesday, but Sid's also on our Discord, and they're pretty generous with knowledge, even though they have like a paid subscription. Sid's still posting like
at least the big moves. Big moves to help you guys out.
For a lot of people who aren't swing trading, like even for me, like that's enough. I don't really trade on a daily basis, but I do kind of want to know like, is now a good time to buy more or just sell in general? If like you think we're hitting top or whatever, and that has helped me a lot. And who knows, like if you're able to use that advice to your advantage, maybe one day you'll be able to afford a Maxi subscription because you'll do so well on overall.
I mean, also like, like to catch the top. I know like me and Max, we caught the top. I think we shared with you, Lewis, too. Like when Bitcoin topped out when we were in a earlier group.
I texted my dad. My dad was like, he's like, I can't believe I sold it like 50 whatever K. And then like I texted him again and I was like, Max thinks like at like 20 or 30 Ks, like Max is starting to buy again. And my dad just like, like he doesn't, he messes with his crypto like once every 6 months to a year, and it's just like
and does incredibly well.
Exactly.
He texted me the other day.
To like make the right.
He started with 15K. He pulled 15K out like in 2020 or whatever, and then he's like, I've recovered 100%. He's like, my account's worth over 100K now just from listening to you guys. And I was like, my dad's probably killing it more than me because he isn't fucking with all the he didn't move a bunch of money to Harmony and get fucking rug pulled from their break. Some of the shit that I've done that has seemed more advantageous, it would have been just better to hold my shit and sell it like at the good point. So I'm less aggressive now, and I'm afraid to get into all the stuff Max is into. I know he has a better understanding of it than I do, but the Harmony shit wrecked me. Like,
the Harmony shit, we were still like, we were still doing like our kind of like advised stuff like as its own just Discord thing, and even then, it was 4 minutes into the hack that we were sending at everybody posts in the Moontime chat like, Harmony Bridge is fucked. Like, get your money out now. Like, go, mobilize. And like, I probably lost like $32,000. But
I lost over 40K just because I was like a few minutes late because they started like closing the bridges or whatever.
Dude, if I had been 7 or 8 minutes later, I would have lost like 60. It was a lot. I mean, 30 was a lot, and it was like enough to make me like feel like I was in a funk for a few days. I had to like step away from my trades.
Yeah,
for
I had
like
to.
a
I
couple
had to
days.
take
I
I'm
a
was like,
break.
still
okay.
not trading because of that. I'm just like, yeah, like
We're all
not
like,
fucking. I'm not fucking with
Guys,
your
I got-
weird layer 2 DeFi because that's what fucked me the first
Oh,
time. Even though
I got deep into layer 1 stuff like within a week of that hack. I was like, fuck it, I'm going
back
layer
in it,
1.
degenning
I was
shit.
like, I'm not doing these bridge shits, but I'm doing fucking DeFi fucks. Like
Yeah.
DeFi is not the problem. But
But the important thing is to like, you know, to also see that like when Bitcoin like goes into a bear market, everything is all the rest of crypto is going to go into a bear market, and like that's the hardest to sell. I know, like, you know,
Yeah.
all coins are going to probably be pumping hard. Like look at Wax, like
you'll
it
also
was
be
in
used,
a parabola at like
you'll be used to your portfolio going up like hundreds of dollars every morning. So
yeah, or
at
like
that point, it's
thousands, and then
when we ask you to sell that and stop having that happen, you're gonna be like, no. It's like, but I want, you know, I want my money printed.
it's like, yeah, like, you know, like $1 turned out to be the top for Wax. Like same with like, you know, your friend Dogecoin, when you asked him, like that was the top for this last cycle. But like at least I'm gonna try to, you know, at least if when Bitcoin tops out, I'll try to share with you guys.
Yeah,
So
with
you
my friend, it took me all of
take
like
profit.
5 minutes to respond to him too. I was like, tell your mom to sell everything immediately. Like she won the game. There's nothing else you can do. You won. You made it. Like you
But
made
they're
80K.
like, no,
No, that's not. We'll wait till it's
close
over
to $1.
Like, well,
Let's
I was
wait
like,
till
cool.
$10.
I'll see you in the. It'll probably get there. I'll see you in a few years.
we also made mistakes with like our planet and stuff. Like we should have sold our planet back when we were like, we're printing. It was like, oh, we're gonna make $126,000 this year with like our company wallet that's printing our planet stuff. We should have sold then. We shouldn't have been like, okay,
that
now
should
this
have
is
been
just gonna like.
Yeah, that should have been the indication of like time to sell.
Yeah, because like I think I remember saying like Bitcoin was in a bear market. I was like, you know, once that happens, all of this stuff is nothing's gonna last.
Oh yeah,
like they're all gonna
no doubt. I mean, at the height, I think my wallet's like projection was like over $460,000 per year. I was pulling like over $1,000 a day from our planet.
We've learned some very expensive lessons in the crypto space, and again, we don't get financial advice, but we're willing to share to you our mistakes. So hopefully, you do not also make them. So definitely.
To be fair, I did that so well too. I was selling the our planet stuff and buying about 1 to 1.2 ETH each day, and then the mistake I made was I moved it into Harmony and I got fucking robbed.
The bridge But yeah. Anyway, you're talking about the pool.
Here's what we have for the week. So right now I'm looking at, this is just the we have some 3 liquidity positions based on these farm rewards. So in the USDT Wax one, we're making only 27% APR right now, and because of what we were just looking at with the Wax kind of like breaking out of its long-term price targets there and starting to make its move up here, I don't necessarily, I want, so before I go any further, the goal for this wallet is to make more Wax, not necessarily more dollar value. So I want more Wax, and we're looking at the chart. We see that the chart is starting to break out in terms of dollars. So I'm probably going to unwind my entire USDT Wax pool. I no longer want like a hedged exposure to Wax. Instead, I want to rotate this pool into something that has more Wax upside exposure. And what I'm thinking is either the Wax Wombat pool, which is currently paying 60% in USDT, which that's pretty solid, or, you know, continuing with the Wax Honey, or I have Wax CMW. So I was wondering if you wouldn't mind taking a look at the chart for Wax Honey, Wax Wombat, and potentially Wax CMW, and letting after looking at that, like letting me know what your take is on what to move into. So I'm gonna.
So which are the first pair that we're looking at?
So the pair that we're currently in is Wax Honey, or Wax Wombat was the one I'm thinking about moving into.
Okay, so
part of that, let's start with Wax Honey. So we're currently also in Wax Honey, and so the thought here is, obviously I do want to unwind my Wax USDT position, but do I want to add that more to Wax Honey, or do I want to create a Wax Wombat LP moving forward? Both with the intention of earning more Wax over time.
Okay. Unfortunately, this
honey.
isn't there on TradingView, so I can't use TradingView.
Yes,
So
yeah.
like,
So we're looking at it on Wax on Edge. For anyone watching, Wax on Edge has a nice little trading view built into it, so
so
we're able to at least chart it the same way here.
yeah, exactly. So, but we can't use our indicator, so I'm just gonna
Yeah,
go with
unfortunately.
just good old school TA without
Yeah.
the indicator. So the first thing,
Why is it that you can't use indicator in some of those?
Because you have to be on actual. This is like an API version of TradingView, so you can only use like the default indicators, and ours is custom, so you'd have to like sign into your TradingView account to access it.
Okay.
so like, yeah. So unfortunately, we can. But what I'm gonna do is like first look at the price, and I'm starting with the weekly chart, and
This
then
yeah.
yeah, and I think, oh, this kind of looks like, I think, a trend line. So I see something. Was it a trend line breakout?
Oh, maybe it did break out. If you're
So
looking,
yeah, something like this, because I do see like, like price just kept trying to like wick, and so it's been in a downtrend.
yeah.
For
You
some
can kind of
time.
see also the volume has been like almost nothing for a while, and a
Here.
part of that I think has to do with there was no incentive rewards, and then the owner of this token started incentivizing the liquidity pool again, and that is kind of what kicked this chart back to life.
This is also, I guess, I don't know if Sid knows, but for also our viewers, this Honey is the native token for the NFT Hive website, which is a Wax marketplace for buying and selling NFTs. And one of the way you earn it is by using their platform. They incentivize the buying and selling of NFTs. It pays out in Honey. So if you like sell, I think it's 100 Wax, or I don't know what the number is now, but an X amount of Wax, then you get 1 Honey. And they also have like liquidity pool rewards, and something that Atomic Hub is now doing is there's no longer tokenomics fees on the marketplaces, but Atomic Hub is taking the tokenomics fee and they're buying back Wombat, Honey, and Nefty for the marketplaces. So they're using what would be the tokenomics fees to buy and then burn the tokens for these marketplaces. So there's kind of like constant buy pressure now on this token because of that.
Oh, nice. Well, at least by the chart, it looks like, yeah, that's that's working, because like, even so it seems to have broken out, and now I think it's doing like this little like what we were saying. It's trying to probably retest. The price is probably trying to retest the trend line and do an SR flip that we were talking about before. So it could be doing something like that.
That would be good so that's a definitely candidate then for like a liquidity pool. I'm like looking to farm. Plus this one's giving us 75% APR. So
nice. That's
not bad.
That's juicy. So looking at the support then, like if you want to see like, so I see a wick here and all these candles. So maybe that's like support that I see, potential support here and maybe here too. I mean, it's kind of like on it, that might be one, but like honestly, like I think it might go down here,
down to there before finding. Okay, so we do have a little bit of a downside then for this one.
Can we also calculate there's a built-in ceiling where like once you hit a certain point, if Honey becomes worth a certain amount, it's more worth it to just buy and sell, basically wash trade NFTs on the marketplace, because you would earn more like in the Wax reward. So like it can't hit a certain amount or people will just buy and use the rewards to dump it, because if the rewards become worth more than the market fee, or I don't know, remember the exact.
There's a weird equation
like
that. There's a little bit of a floor for this one, which is kind of around, I think, like 0.8 or something Wax last time I did the math.
0.8,
but yeah, something like that. What was the floor of
here, which is actually like,
is that where it actually floored out last time?
0.96 and 0.75 seems to be
and I think like around like 1 Wax per these. When Wax was cheaper, people were using Wax to just like like Lewis is saying, just like mine the token.
Yeah, so it was like 0.8. It's close to 1 basically.
Okay, so that's about so that is kind of a built-in floor, which is nice. It's also like once people start, like mining the token by using the marketplace fees to like
Yeah.
generate it, then there's also, if you stake the token on the marketplace, you get a kickback of marketplace fees. So it
Yeah.
actually is a benefit to the token on both sides for it to
That
be
makes
like issued that
sense.
way. So I don't hate I don't hate Honey. It's an easy one to kind of participate in, and it does look like we have a little bit of room down still.
Yeah.
We're looking for a little bit of a sell-off. So what about because we want to do something this week for next week. What about like Wombat token in Wax?
I think I heard you. So Wombat and Wax, right? So
Yeah.
let's see how
So
this
maybe
guy
this is a better
doing.
one to move into this week.
So that's the
that
weekly again.
The weekly looks
That's not
pretty
looking good.
bearish, actually. Selling off,
And,
kind of intensifying. It looks like.
And if we
Looks
let's
like
look at where
actually-
this
Yeah.
support is.
It looks
So
like
I'm
it's
taking
actually
this
approaching
week.
support.
Yeah. But then we need to. It could go there. It could go here. That's the next.
That's true.
That I'm
So this
seeing.
is the thing where it's like it looks like we're approaching support, and like as someone who's bullish, I want to see a bounce there, and that bounce would then confirm the support is support, and we'd kind of be able to trend up from there. But what we don't have yet is that confirmation. So like yeah, here, especially on the daily, look at that. The daily looks like it's looking for that bounce. Like it looks like we're approaching support, and we got a little bit of a bounce like last week there too.
Last week, but then also like the more times it keeps touching the floor, eventually it breaks. Like, so that's also, think of it like, like it's not solid ground. It's made of something, and then you keep hitting an iron ball, like you just keep dropping on it until the glass sort of shatters, visually. Like that's how I think about it. So the more times it keeps bouncing, it can be like on the support or resistance, the same thing. So the more times it keeps like hitting one side, eventually it's most likely that it might break. So we don't know. Like 3 touches is still fine, but like if it keeps doing that, then like at some point you're like, oh, maybe it's better.
So this one looks basically where Honey looks like it is potentially breaking out, like in a longer term, it's looking more bullish. This one on this longer term timeline looks more a little like it's bearish, but potentially coming to the end of a bearish trend. However, we don't have confirmation that the trend has ended yet, and so it would be potentially a mistake to jump into a trend that hasn't finished playing out.
Yeah,
right.
Like I'm also looking at the other thing I like to use is called the stock RSI. I know you've used it too.
I use this one too. I love this one too.
So think of that as kind of like how much gas is left in the tank. You know what I mean? So it shows it's on its way down, but it's not hit the bottom. Just once it hits the bottom, then it's oversold.
Okay, so we're only like halfway through the SRSI move, so we definitely have juice left to move further down.
Yeah.
Let's
so
see.
like,
okay, and then
can you look at Nefty? I don't know if that's even probably not an option for.
Oh,
I guess technically you can farm Nefty as far as they have their own rewards through their own interface, but
is that on TradingView or like do I need to?
Yeah, that one's also here. You'll find that one here.
It's on Wax on Edge.
I think Nefty.
NEFTY.
Yeah,
that's it. Yep.
That's the other marketplace. Those 3 tokens we're looking at are Atomic Hub, NFT Hive, and the Nefty Blocks, which are the 3 major marketplaces on NFTs for Wax. It had a crazy candle the other day where it just went like straight down and then straight back up.
It's kind of brutal. But the good thing is what I'm seeing here.
Making a higher low.
Yeah, like it's if you see like this is support. That support.
Yeah.
And it seems to be like SR flipping support, like a bounce, making a higher low. So that's the other thing you want to see in an uptrend is a higher low and higher high, and that like if it keeps doing that, then it's in an uptrend.
Then we're confirming the reversal. So this is the very first higher high.
Signs.
I'm sorry, higher low. So if it followed now by a higher high, then that would be a confirmation of the trend reversing.
Yeah. So like
that actually looks like it could be a decent candidate to
yeah,
help
and
us grow our
also
wax.
I think the constant buy pressure from Atomic Hub using like the tokenomics to buy back the tokens has helped it a lot because there wasn't really demand for it before that. So you can see from the
Yeah.
chart just constantly tanking.
yeah. Like, you know, make a fake floor and then just like
push it down a whole
throw-
another like 50%. Damn.
I was
Damn. Neon
actually
Space.
like
I think our Neon Space wallet has like a shit ton of these tokens.
Yeah, we have like a
40
level
look like
3
a
stake.
red flag.
44,000.
Let's see the target like hits. So to me this looked like it's close enough.
Yeah, that's totally.
So like
That totally
this
seems to
seemed
have
like it's called a bear flag because like on a downtrend, you know, see where it's like parallel, the lines are parallel, and you keep hitting the top and the bottom, and it makes sort of like a channel. And I did the same thing like as earlier. You measure like the flag pole, and then you like sort of draw it down, and that gives you the rough target. It didn't exactly hit, but like close enough. So
That's
this
pretty decent.
once like price lost this channel, if you were to like, I would have sold here because I would just be like, oh, that's not a good look.
Yeah.
It's just continuation down.
The devs have misled us again.
Can the devs fix it? Yeah.
Can devs do something? Yeah, there's only one more that I have as a contender for this coming week, and that's CMW.
So let's try it.
And wax.
Can I just change it here? C and W.
So this is another one that they have.
Wait, what's the ticker again?
CMW.
Oh, M. Okay, M from M.
There it is.
CMW tokens.
Credit
Credit
Metaverse. That's the one. This one also has decent rewards paying out right now, but I'm not 100% sure if it's like a better move to jump into this than.
This is...
Oh yeah. Let's see. If you change it to like, what is it called? The DeFi box chart, because you can choose which decks you're looking at. I think in the, let's see, where do I do that?
How do
if you click the honey or the CMW wax in the top left of the above the trading view chart. Yeah, there. Then you can choose the DeFi box pool. That one existed longer, so it should have more of a price history. It's like CMW.
The second one.
This guy?
Yeah, I think it's the second one from the top. There you go. This one has a longer price history.
Okay, that looks better.
Yeah.
Ooh, I see some trend lines, potential trend lines maybe. Let's see.
Oh yeah, very immediately.
On the monthly, it's like kind of looks like it too. Something like that. It's not exactly a trend line, but yeah, it seems to be that. I mean, if this is kind of like how a trend line is going to be, then like, you know, price is probably just going to keep doing this thing. And then it breaks out, SR flips, and then
we push higher. So this one is
same thing as wax. See, you saw this thing happen with wax here, right? It just looks similar. But we need another touch though for it to confirm a trend.
This token has a really like a low supply, but they also have not a huge burn utility at the moment. So I think my top choices would be either honey or wombat to try to like move from wax USDT into one of those. Between those, you think it's a better idea to just like hold off and wait for the confirmation? Or
I think so. Maybe because like, I mean, honey is in a downtrend, you know.
Yeah.
I think it could like go all the way down to the trend line. And wombat, we haven't got that confirmation. Like right now, I mean, we still have half the week to go, but that candle doesn't look good.
That candle is pretty dank. You know, it looks pretty bad. Okay,
might go a little lower.
I think that kind of helps. Like, so I think then what we want to do for the coming week I'm going to toggle over to the screen that I've shared here. Jump back to my share screen here. So for the since last week, let's start there. Since last week, we've been running these pools, Wax USDT, Wax Honey, and CMW Wax still. Most of our liquidity is in the Wax USDT pool. And since we just kind of looked over the Wax chart, I do expect also, like Sid was saying, Wax to do relatively well in the coming months. However, in the current week, it isn't looking like there is necessarily an opportunity for me to move my Wax into a liquidity pool that's going to better protect me from a potential Wax pump. I would say, based on those charts, if Wax starts to pump this week, it's likely that Honey and Wombat and stuff dump, as that's already the direction of the trend. And as Wax pumps, it's likely people will try to make a quick exodus from whatever token into the pumping token. And so it's not necessarily going to be the best bet for me to jump ship from my Wax USDT pool into a Wax Wombat or a Wax Honey pool, even though the APR here is a little bit higher, making about 27% on the Wax USDT, which is still relatively like a respectable amount. I don't think that's too bad. But, it's not 80% on Wax Honey or, 60% here in USDT, which would be nice. And then, of course, CMW, what's that one doing? That one's doing 50 plus 30. So this is 80, like almost 100% split between all these assets. So what I want to do for the coming week then, since I don't think it's necessarily the best idea to jump ship based on what we're looking at, is I'm probably just going to ride in the pools that we currently have. And I'm going to, all I'm going to do is claim the rewards from these and keep those rewards as Wax, so that next week we can take a look at these positions. We'll double check the charts again for the Honey and Wax and for the Wombat and Wax pools and see if we've gotten a confirmation of a bounce or a change in that direction, and then maybe we'll scale into that. For this week, I want to stick around and just keep farming these. So what I'm going to do is go over to the farm tab, say my farms, and I'm just going to go down the list here and claim these rewards. And that will basically be it for what we want to do with the liquidity this week. I don't think it's a bad idea to some weeks just stay the course. We don't always have to rebalance or do something, drastically shifting our money around. And
would you consider changing your range for the Wax USDT? So if it does pump a bunch, you go out of range.
Okay, that's actually a good point. So since last week, we were looking at the chart, and so I've actually set the range to 12 cents on the upper limit and 7.5 on the lower. And if you look, we're pretty much like smack dab in the middle of it now. And then I guess since Sid is here, let me ask Sid, what do you think about my range? So we're looking for, we're looking for a range that's going to last for the week. We'll be reassessing it and moving it next week. So I like to keep a range that is going to kind of basically cover the potential price action of the week based on the previous week's performance. So let me pull up the Wax chart you have looking at, and then looking at the chart, let's see, how would you specify a range?
So I would just look at the support and resistance, right? So this seems to be, I know the bigger support is around 0.14, but maybe it is close to that wick already. So maybe the range above it. So maybe somewhere here, 0.12. Let's see on the daily what it looks like.
Yeah, 0.12 that's the one I set.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes, I mean, it rubs off on me. We've been doing this shit for years together.
Let's see. I'll change the color.
Did I do that?
0.122, or if you want to go a little above 0.29, I think that might be.
So almost 13 cents.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's
on the top, and then how about the bottom?
That's a huge range, right?
It's not
So-
that. I mean, we don't have to be that crazy about it because we get the liquidity here isn't based on fees exclusively. It's based on in range liquidity. So
Right.
we'll be earning the APR no matter what. Since I know we're familiar with farming like Lido pools that pay to the fees almost exclusively, and for
Right.
those we like to target our liquidity range like stupid tight, like less than 1%
Yeah.
usually.
But I don't know. You could do, because this now is like support actually, looking at the
Yeah.
daily. So like 0.091, and then if you want a buffer, you could go down to this wick. So 0.088.
Oh, okay. So
You
that's a
know.
little higher than what I have mine set.
Because it's already technically like SR flipped it, and it's supposed to be going higher.
Okay, yeah. Let me here. I'm gonna
thinking-
toggle back to my screen. And
But
let
I
me,
know this is a
here. I'm gonna toggle back to my screen. And I'm gonna make that adjustment now. So I'm gonna do
So the
is I'm gonna start
lower-
by removing the liquidity entirely because you can't change the range of an open position.
I wish they could.
Now that
they
that's
had, like
removed-
an edit thing like that. That would be helpful in like LP pools,
Right. So I'm gonna set this, and I want my lower range, like Sid said. I'm gonna go 8.5
Yep.
cents, and then
Yeah.
for the top,
So like
I'll go to like 13.
or like 0.8, 0.8. I'm just looking at the chart. So 0.88 would be a good thing as the lower.
I'll go 7.5 since I have a little
Sure.
bit of a lopsided liquidity since it's at 54 wax, and then 13 was my upper range. So here, let's see if I do 54, I can only do 2. This is the range I want though. So the way I'm gonna add this liquidity here is I'm gonna click the one that basically I can supply the counterpart to, like this. And next I'm going to I have to refresh this. Sometimes if I take too long setting my range, it like moves out of range and won't let me create it. So again, moving like this, we're gonna go 0.875, 0.13, or 0.13, and then we'll add this. This time it was fast enough. It should
Nice.
work just well.
So visually, it still
Success.
looks like it's where most of the trading is still happening.
Perfect. And that's going to be great for our actual yield from the farm here. So now that this has been made, you can see, I've spent all my wax, and it's about $5 in wax and $2.50 or something in this. So it's about double the wax compared to the USDT. So I need to balance. So I need to
Nice.
balance the remaining USDT in my wallet by selling like 2/3 of it into wax, and that should give me the remainder of liquidity that I want to add to that pool. So I'm just going to jump over to Wax on Edge, sign into my wallet, and make this swap here. So again, I'm going to go USDT, and then it's nice down here I actually have a little, so I can click 75%, so I don't have to do the math in my head.
We're still looking
That
at
would give me-
Alcor on your screen.
Oh, right. It's because I only shared the Alcor screen.
Also, didn't you say you wanted to keep some in wax from the rewards and not put it all into USDT?
Yeah, but now that I'm moving the wallet, now I'm like, okay, well, let's see. If I did $4, how much do I need here? 81 wax. So I want to make sure I would have the counterpart for what I'm doing here. So I want to do. Let's see. I'll just swap half and see how we go from there. So here we go. Have 27 wax. Let's add that. And then the rest of it I will keep as just wax. So then I do get to do a little bit of what I was saying I wanted to do.
Nice.
So I'm going to refresh this. We are now, there we go, 81 wax with $4 on the counterpart. We have our range set 12% lower, 31% higher from here. So that's kind of where I want to leave that. And then the last thing I want to do is actually let's get a little bit more of our wax here. I'm just gonna buy wax with USDT, which I just did on Wax on Edge. But you'll see my wax pop up here in a second. Let's see. Or I guess if I go to wallet, I should see it. Yoink. Refresh. Oh, here's my wax. I guess I can swap it here so you can see it. Swap it for wax. Should be like 27 wax, I think. 13 wax. Oh, right. 13 wax. It's almost 10 cents now. Let's go. It's coming up. So this, I'm just going to hold this as wax. Cool. And then for next week, that's what I'm going to be sitting on. So looking back at our pools here, earn pools, I have rebalanced our wax USDT pool to kind of set the new range that Sid was helping us determine. So we're now between about 8.75 cents and 13 cents for our wax USDT range. And then we're still just going to leave the wax honey and wax CMW alone. Those pools, all three of these pools are now farming these rewards. And we'll see how the markets move this time next week to decide what we want to do beyond that. Bam.
Can you check really
Success.
quick, Sid? I sent you a link. Can you check if your indicator works on that chart? I sent it on Discord.
It's the Tensor trade.
Ooh.
Yeah. But if you click Pro on it, it has a chart.
Let me see. Yeah, got it.
That's like a Solana NFT trading thing, but it has like a pro view where like has charts for like the value of the entire profile picture project. And I was just curious, like what your indicator would say about that, like if it would actually correctly call out the buys and the sells.
Yeah,
this is also something we can talk about off stream, but I feel like that's a whole new market that you guys could target because there's people who sell like Ether PFPs for like $75,000 that they can probably afford, your $68 a month fee if they're trading shit that's worth like $50K plus, and that information is useful to them.
Teddy Soul. So the thing is, like, again, so like TradingView seems to be a plugin within it because like our indicator is a private only custom indicator, so you can't really like search for it here. But what you can do is like we can try to see if this pair is on TradingView. That's what
I don't know if there's NFTs on TradingView.
Teddy's
right. I wonder.
Nope.
Boo.
No, there's unfortunately not.
I do feel like in the future, if we can figure out a way to make that happen, that could be
That could be a really
potentially
cool.
good for your guys' audience. You could expand into profile picture degens on Ethereum. I think there's got to be some official TradingView Ethereum-based version of this.
Right. But I can charge it.
Yeah, this is like a teddy bear profile picture thing that somebody in our community bought into. And when he showed me this, I was like, I've never seen this for an NFT project, which is kind of an interesting way to track NFT value. It's like the value of the floor of the project, I think.
I mean, it seems to be like just looking at the chart. Like it's definitely in a it's in a range. It just seems like it. See, like you can close this. This is like
I know also pretty much nothing about that project. That was just the example he sent me in the link I had.
Interesting.
It looks like it's fallen off pretty hard from the initial pump.
Yeah, but then like it's sort of like just been like, I don't know if it's accumulation or distribution, but like it's too early to tell, but it just seems to be stuck within a range, like this is the top of it. See, if you catch this is like, this is resistance, so like 0.64, and then
I wonder if there's an Ethereum version of that where you could look at like Bored Apes and see like if it plays out the same way as tokens, but I don't know enough about Ethereum to know what. USC has their token, but I don't know if they have their actual.
I don't know if they have their floor price like charted here either. Yeah, that would be cool.
Is that? I mean, if it's a token, then I can like look at it.
Well, they have their token, but the token isn't the same thing as the floor of their NFT project. Twelter says Magic Eden has charts and Ether NFTs, so maybe let me see if I can find that.
What's the ticker or like
for what?
For what you want me to look at.
I don't know what the ticker would be for Bored Apes, but let me see if I can find it on. I mean, BAYC is the collection.
Nice. Block. Retail. I don't know what this is.
Ooh, I see analytics maybe. That doesn't have like the trading view analytics though.
Yeah, I've seen OpenSea has analytics, but not like to that extent.
Yeah, that's just the first time I've seen like an actual trading view chart on an NFT thing, which was interesting to me because I was like, hey, like if your shit works on trading view, it might work for this too. But
Yeah,
it sounds like you'd have to find like a
As
Actually
long
work-
as like the ticker is within TradingView, then we
Yeah.
can like look at
if
it.
it's accessible
That's
from the TradingView app, then we can.
I
totally-
wonder if there's a way to add stuff to TradingView, like if you could import the data from whatever this site is to TradingView.
That's a good
But
question.
that's beyond my pay grade of knowing how all this shit works.
Can the devs do something?
Do
Um,
something.
So I'm thinking maybe we do a quick giveaway and then wrap this up. We've been going for a while.
Sure.
Looks like Max is.
Yeah,
dinner time.
Paul made a sandwich. Check this out.
Is it like a?
Make him big screen.
Ooh, that looks bomb. What's in it? Is that guac in it?
Yeah, guac, beans, Oaxaca cheese, like al pastor pork, and pico de gallo.
Oof.
Super good.
Yes.
Super
Me
good.
hungry.
I got to go to CVS and pick up my painkillers before the pharmacy closes.
Are you
Fun
getting good
stuff.
ones, or is it like fucking Tylenol?
I don't know. They gave me Tylenol at the thing, but it actually helped. Like my back was feeling fine while we we're streaming, and now it's just starting to hurt again randomly, even though I'm standing up
Oh,
straight, which is not a
If
good
you want,
sign.
I have some like muscle relaxers and stuff too that would probably help if you
I'm
want.
gonna see what they prescribed me first. They didn't tell me what they prescribed me. It is pretty annoying just having your back hurt when you're not like it's not based on my movement or anything. Like I could just be standing up straight,
yeah.
not moving, and it's just constant pain.
Oh, it's the worst. I am very.
I know you're
messed
well aware. I'm hoping
That's-
I didn't do some shit that you did.
so
It also
bad.
scares me because you didn't like injure yourself. Like you just woke up and that happened. It was
Barely.
like, fuck, did I just like wake up and somehow like tear some shit in my back because I'm a fucking
Oh,
old man
God.
now?
Yeah, that fucked me up.
Boomers now.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today, guys. It's super fun to like get to talk with Sid on the air here. And I mean, me and Sid talk like every day anyway, but it's fun to like have a little like behind the scenes little stream like this.
Hell yeah.
And have
Well,
Sid
thanks
on,
for having me, guys. This has been fun.
right? Dive into some crypto market stuff, and then of course, if it is your speed and you want to like try it out, like we'd
Oh,
love
here we
to.
go. There
have-
is a pro trading chart for
Oh,
indicators, but they wouldn't have your indicator.
yeah, we'd have to publish it publicly to
Um,
make it available on those indicators, which.
Still a cool way to look at the data though. For this also doesn't
To
have
be like
that much data.
Yeah,
One-
Mocha Twitcher says
constant downtrend. Like I
Bucket
wouldn't
businesses.
buy if it's like if it looks like a waterfall like that. Like I would stay away to it.
Yeah, wait till you
Find
get that
some days.
bounce. You're not
It
going
also
to
makes sense too, though, because Ether, Ethereum's
yeah.
pumping. So I imagine the price of this stuff goes down as the price of Ethereum goes up a lot of times because people
Ah.
are selling out to get the Ethereum.
Well, it looks like we could break out of the wedge or the pennant that I was sharing earlier on this stream. Like the daily candle it looks good on the close, so we could break out some in the next coming days.
Yeah.
Maybe
For the
tomorrow.
low price of whatever the fuck Bored Apes cost right now. Let's see what the floor is.
The low
14.
price.
Is that really the floor? Floor is only 14 Ethereum. That's way down. If that's
It used to be hundreds.
is there other shit in there?
No, I don't think so. I think Bored Ape Yacht Club is only the 10,000
Damn,
Bored Ape.
dude, that shit. Like these last sales are for like 80
Send it all
Ethereum
down.
and stuff. Which, I mean, 13 Ethereum's 14 Ethereum's still not
That's
fucking
a
cheap.
buttload of money still, but
14.
that's nowhere near what it used to
$56,000. That's still significantly down. People are buying them for like 150
300,
300K
400. Yeah,
last bull
those were
market.
like 10x at one point, like $500,000.
But
You heard it here first. Wax to $5.
That's right.
We'll see.
Well,
Hey, I
3.
won't be mad about it. I won't be mad about it. If we
I
get
would
to
say
3, I don't know. There's no way I'll be holding all my
3 might
wax.
be
Yeah, I
more
don't-
possible.
I have a very hard time holding past $3, even $1. Like I think I'll always sell half.
Yeah, selling half at $1 is a good.
Dollar's also huge from anywhere I buy. Like,
yeah, I think my average is like 22, 23 cents at this point still. And I bought at like 4 and 3 cents to like average down. But I had also bought at like 36, I think. So, you know, it's come down a lot.
Exclamation point neon if anyone wants to join this giveaway. I'm going to play a song. If you're not in by the end of the song, then we're just doing the giveaway. But in spirit of shitcoin season, we got the Dink Doink music video.
Oh, Dink Doink, yeah.
Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Want you to dink on my face, take a doink on my chest. Yeah, yeah. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Why don't you come on over, take pictures of my feet. Yeah, yeah. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Why don't you take my little sister to the prom? Don't doink her, please. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. You're my favorite coin. You're my favorite coin. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. My girlfriend says thank you for all the new girlfriends. Yeah, dink doink at an all-time high. What is really high when you keep getting higher? Yeah, dink doink, you're my favorite coin. You turn my wallet into a penthouse. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. We're going to the moon, yeah. We're going to the moon, yeah, yeah. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. I want you to dink on my face and take a doink on my chest. Yeah, yeah. Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Why don't you?
Classic.
Let's look at the chart real quick.
Yeah, let's see how hard did it take a doink on his chest.
Dink Doink. What's the ticker?
It's not even good enough to be on CoinMarketCap.
The ticker has been scrubbed from the internet.
It's basically, this was like hard rug pulled, and it was advertised by
Dink. That's what the ticker
is. Advertised, I think that's Logan or Jake Paul. It's one of the Paul brothers. Oh, it actually looks like it's coming up in the last 7 days. But let's look at the.
Hey-oh, it's hitting that meme coin hype. That's why Woofy needs to get out.
Yeah, that's why.
See, this is where the rug pull happened. We're way the fuck up here, and then it's doing measurements that I don't even know how to say. 5e -10, like.
Yeah, it's so cheap. You have to represent it in scientific notation.
Yeah, this is when the music video came out, and this is where we are now. So,
well, you know, that's
it's
what you get for investing.
It doesn't even have a 1 at the end. It's 0.00000000. Like there's even a decimal there.
Damn.
And the high was $2. So,
like
negative infinity right now.
You know, all this shit might pump. You know.
Yo, if this shit makes it halfway back to the all-time high, though,
oh God,
you know people are out there thinking that.
You can buy it for $0 right now.
Yeah, if it gets halfway back, that's a whole $1. Yeah, definitely.
Last call! Exclamation point neon.
Yeah, and then
Tissue says, "I believe wax can fly. I believe wax can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. Spread my wax wings and fly away. I believe wax can fly."
Hey, that guy's canceled, so.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Thanks.
Somebody's just got to make a Woofy meme coin song.
Right,
Woofy, you're my favorite coin. I want you to woof on my chest.
Yeah, just replace Dink with Woof and Woofy. Done, dude. That'd be pretty good. Yeah, and then buying the dip is, of course, still a viable option these days. The way the markets are moving, if you see big dips, you know, don't get shaken out. Buy the dips. It's buy the dips.
Shitcoin called Cat with Hat. I want to buy that just because of the dumb name.
Oh, because there was Dog with Hat.
Oh, was there? Damn.
Which is, which, you know, that's part of
I got airdrop.
I don't know which chain that is. That's, I think, on like Solana.
I got airdrop some dog NFT coin. It's called like the dog NFT.
Is it even legit? I don't want to like interact.
I don't want to touch it, but it's worth like $70 already in my wallet. I'm like, I'm not gonna touch it. I didn't buy this. It's a good way
Mine
to
is,
get
like, worth,
robbed
like,
is if
200
you interact
bucks.
with tokens. Yeah. Also, PSA: if you have tokens in your wallet that you didn't buy, don't fucking touch them.
Yeah.
Like, there's sophisticated smart contracts that just by interacting with a token, you can give a contract permission to rob you. So if you don't
Yeah.
recognize something, you didn't buy it, you don't know. Like I said, the shit's in my wallet. It says it's worth $70. Don't fucking touch it. It's a
Yeah.
trap. Too good to be true.
It'll drain your wallet. It can.
Dog with hat.
Hey, if
Yeah,
you didn't
with-
buy something and you found it in your wallet, don't touch it.
I think Whiff is
here's a video.
thing too.
Oh my god.
See, because Whiff is
Drop
on
it.
Binance.
Yeah.
That's a $10 million market
This
cap.
is the
at
most
least.
I
deep
found-
fried.
I found
most
Whiff on
fried video I've
TradingView.
ever seen.
It's on TradingView because, like, I believe it's on Binance, so it's trading on Binance. Is it like Whiff, and it's the
Yeah, with
price is 2.6?
it's worth $2 a token. This thing.
So it seems to be in a pattern. I could,
What's the market cap, dude? That's at least
I
a
could
$100 million
share
market cap video.
my
That deep
screen,
fried
I
ass
have it.
meat video.
It's 2 billion, I think.
$2 billion.
This is the market
Jesus.
How
cap.
is it fucking $2.6?
I don't know. Did you not
There's
see the
another-
video, Sid?
Yeah, I did.
Elliot, the water dripping out the city.
$3.
Oh my.
You probably can't play whatever that song is.
Fraud.
Listen, what are we listening to?
Yeah,
Hey
but
guys,
it's-
I just walked out of a meeting with Barzani, the president of Kurdistan, and he said that Kurdistan may adopt Dogwith coin as the national currency.
God, this website is fucking crazy, dude.
Oh god.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
I don't know
god.
who that was.
If a country adopted a meme coin as its national currency, I would be like, we're in the end game for crypto, baby. We've made it. I don't expect that to happen for another like 100 years though.
What's cat with hat? I want to see this one. Is it cat
Yeah,
with
Whiff
hat
seems
or
to
cat
be-
with hat?
Cat with hat.
Whiff, or Whiff-
Is cat with
so
hat
Whiff
is that as deep fried or is that less deep fried? Higher fidelity.
This one's on Solana. It looks like it's a copy and paste. It's just cats with. This one
Yeah.
actually looks better artwork though.
This
The
one
art
looks
was pretty
less
fucking
fried.
horrible on Dog with Hat.
I mean,
These also look like AI art, like 1,000%. This is AI.
100% AI art. And you know, and as we
Cat
know
with
from
hat
the
is
stock
worth
market,
significantly less.
if you stick AI into something, then it's instant success.
Well,
How
Whiff
can this
does
not-
look bullish. Like it's been trading in some like wedge sort of pattern.
Unbelievable, dude. $2.60 for that. Well,
Man, crypto is such a crazy space. Like,
I love it, dude. It's coming back to life. Once you get a dog with hat for a $2 billion market cap, we're back, baby.
Well, we have those Mochi and Toshi tokens and shit.
Yeah, baby. My mochis are up like being crazy from where I bought them too.
Yeah,
I
close to
haven't-
like 100% from where I bought it. Or,
I
like,
haven't even
close to-
fucking checked. I haven't
you
even
can buy
checked
gift
my-
cards using used car. There's a token called a used car.
What?
I got like 25
Bonk
used
is
cars right
pretty
now.
popular, but like
Yeah, bonk is what they're targeting with Woofy. Like if
Bonk?
you stake your bonk token on Solana, you can claim the airdrop for the Woofy token. So they're making a bridge from Wax to Solana for that token.
what the fuck is this like used car? A gently used 2001 Honda Civic. That's what the token is. It's
That's
trading
the name
on
of the full name of the
Polo.
token is a gently used 2001 Honda.
Oh
At least they're getting creative with these meme tokens.
I'm kind of digging it, dude. I think meme
Bullshit.
token culture is really stupid and fun. And if you have like the bandwidth for it, it can be a lot of fun.
Ooh, the used car is in a cup and handle. Just looking at it.
They have a website. I just want to see how dumb it
Is
is.
it time to buy used car?
It's playing on the handle, actually. It could be time.
Okay, this is
It'd be
their
time to
website.
load up on used car token.
They've got a Doge and a gently used 2000. I feel like at
love
least
that
these people
I like that it's
friggin'
gently
know how to meme. It has like the engine, a 1.7 liter,
Well, how
32 miles per gallon.
Is
Pretty funny.
how is the
Right.
SEC not going after these guys? Like, it's like total bullshit.
Is their
Not
video
yet.
seriously just an oil change of the, the car?
So
A nice, sleek design to them, too. That out.
This is crazy. The fact that this is worth anything. And how much is this
Not
token
only-
worth? It's worth 3 cents, and the market cap is. They don't have a market cap for it, but the fully diluted valuation is $12 million. So it's worth significantly more than the actual car,
Well,
which is worth 5,000.
it's time to get your Neon token. on
4,500.
TradingView.
Yeah, I
I
guess
can
so.
charge it then.
We're not memeing hard enough, guys.
Yeah, we gotta.
Wait,
up
where
our
do
meme.
where do I see the Neon token?
That's on
I also
Wax
use
and
like
Edge?
Wax on
that's
Edge.
on
yeah.
the website that you've been looking on the.
Let me see.
Yeah, you can see it in terms of Wax, or in
Yeah,
terms
like-
of,
Don't say that it's bearish. It's only going to keep going up.
oh yeah, let's see. It has. You'd probably want to change it to DeFi box as well, similar to the last time. For
Oh,
like
so
the,
this guy,
like-
DeFi box.
yeah, that
It's
one will have-
totally different than the other one. It's like
Yeah, well, it
inverted.
has
Why is
way
that?
longer. The history on DeFi box is way longer.
This is cool because the log chart seems
Our
like it
token's
could be
actually
like-
relatively bullish. I just don't like. I usually don't advertise our token in terms of bull and bears, just because it like
Right.
it's not a good look for somebody who's involved
Nice.
with the token to predict the price action. I think.
We also don't sell it. or
Neon
anything.
token to 0.152 based
Yeah,
off
let's go.
wax. And this seems to be support
Let's go.
0.088.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's done relatively well. I feel like anyone who has been like
Said, wait, you're watching
participating-
reverse chart for Wax Neon? Is that reverse chart? What does that mean?
Oh, I guess if you toggle on the left
Oh.
side, if you toggle Wax to the top and Neon to the bottom, on the
Like,
swap.
This
page
was
on the-
default. And
if
it
you look on
looked
the
like
left, though,
opposite.
just
Oh, sorry.
if you
What were we saying?
if you just hit the swaps on the left side, you know where it says Neon and,
Oh,
and
here.
Wax. Yeah, just swap Wax to be on top. That should give you.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay.
If you click the second one, it's the one
It's
immediately
Wax.
underneath it is the DeFi box.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just saying like Neon versus wax. So if it's this way,
It's the same thing both ways now. Weird. Do Wax on top and then
Yeah.
change to DeFi box. Like click the.
You're
thing
scrolling
top
too far
left.
down is the problem. Like when you
Yeah.
go to the
so
not
this-
that
No, in the top left of the,
The
actual
trading
chart
view
was
thing?
changed. Yeah, there. It's just the second one.
this guy.
yeah,
Pretty sure, yes.
it's pretty much the same chart.
Is there
Oh,
one that goes
see,
back
like-
further? I feel like there's one. Maybe not.
Huh.
We got a.
But yeah, it was in a pennant. So
and it
usually
hit
like
the target of the pennant, I think. So now it
I
does
think
the
so.
next thing.
yeah, it's close to it.
Pennant target getting hit. What's the bottom
Maybe
of the pennant?
like here. So if we, it's about 6 point.
Wapaka here is also the creator of Wax on Edge.
6.67.
So shout out
Shout
to
out.
Wapaka for creating the
Yeah,
website we're
Wapaka.
using.
Good stuff, man. So yeah, like 6.67.
He said all my data is from mid-December. You won't find charts prior to that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
Uh,
say there's definitely like 2 years worth of data. For
If you
our-
go
Let's
to,
see.
maybe you can look on Alcor. Like the actual Alcor
Oh.
website will have longer.
actually, I feel like DeFi Box actually has API from TradingView.
Oh yeah, that's
If you-
true. Because we were on Alcor before DeFi Box, but then Alcor reset when they went to
Alcor
Alcor
wiped
V,
the shit.
whatever.
Go to DeFibox.io.
DeFi.
There is an easy way to add new tokens to MetaMask. I think there's just
.io
in like the
Yeah.
settings. It's wax.defi box, I think, is it's
Right. Yeah, in the top
EOS
right, you
if you're
change it to wax from EOS top right. Yeah. And then and then click on the market tab top left. And then you should find
you type neon.
yeah, you can just type it into the search neon. And
Neon wax, so wax USDC. Which one?
I think neon wax it'll be the one. And then there should come a chart with like a much longer history. So here it goes to there you go. That's the full history of neon.
Charts fetching. Yeah.
That's not even the total full history because we were on Alcor before that. But it's
Yeah,
still
that's
much
true.
more accurate.
But they don't have the tools to like mark out stuff. But this seems to be support. So 6.8 or something. 6.9. I don't know. 6.9 is support. But
Yeah, I don't
doesn't
really
that like line up with 6. Oh, so that could line up with this. See, 6.7 is here. So I wonder if like 6.9 it holds.
Yeah, 6.9. That seems like where we're closing in on that, and it's been finding a bit of support there. I also don't really I don't participate in trading this token. I just supply liquidity, and I do it from 0 to infinity.
Right.
So I don't try to influence the price at all.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Plus, there's no minting of this token, and as we start doing some more,
It's just really cool. The tokenomics, the way it works. Yeah, it's really cool.
tokenomics worked pretty freaking well. I
We
think.
got to do more drops, more blends, and people will need
Drops,
the token.
blends, collab stuff that requires the token. I think all that stuff is, once that stuff rolls out, it's going to do well for our token because there's literally no way to get it other than blending into it.
So I can play a song that I'm making for our next collab.
Yeah.
Speaking of-
that one sounds dope.
And then we'll run this giveaway.
Yeah, we run this
I don't know if we
giveaway.
officially announced who this will be for, but you'll have to guess based on the music. And that's it. All right, let's do this giveaway. Last call for exclamation point neon. Raked in saying,
Nope.
I think if we break 12 cents, we might fly to 16. That'd be crazy because that's like twice what it was not that long ago. It was like 8 cents a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of resistance between like where we are now and like 20, 22 cents or so. Like,
Yeah, we
What,
passed
for
10.
wax?
yeah, I think once we
10.5
start
now.
moving up, we can move up pretty aggressively. I think.
It was 8 cents.
Yeah.
Like 1 week
I think
ago.
like because like if you look at the monthly, like the next actually
Yeah.
bigger resistance is 0.18.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I think
Yeah.
I think that's like the bigger.
Ooh, what up, Yemster?
This data's also wrong. Like it never actually traded for $4, even though they said it traded for $4. That was like some false information reported on like some obscure deck or some
$4.
obscure CEX, and it like altered the
I told you it might go to 5. So there you go.
We got a 5. That's the old all-time highs, baby.
confirmation right there.
Yeah, 20 cents. I'd love to see that again.
I'm not even sure what this is in context of. We should put one of those traps on each floor and take pictures and put another request complaint. Then you dig it. What is that about? Okay, that makes sense. Never mind, wrong messages. Like,
Okay.
what traps are you talking about, my guy?
That was way out there. I was like, well, I missed
You
something.
wax just is it up to 11? It says it's at 11. I don't know if that's accurate though.
Is it pumping?
Oh, that's because we're on the month. Let's go to that.
Oh, okay.
It is kind of just flickering around back and forth though. Exciting times to be on wax. All right, let's
Yeah,
do this
good-
giveaway. Let's figure out what we're giving away too. Some sort of wax NFT.
Good time to adjust our liquidity pool like we did today. It's definitely fun to like look through the charts and not like have you help me look at them. It's fun like having to set like liquidity ranges with someone else, especially because I was pretty close to what you had set from like last week. I barely had to adjust it because I was
Right,
like, yeah,
Disco Jones, got the good flow, and nobody knows till you show 'em that Disco Jones. You play your cards close to your chest, you fold it home in an umbrella. Who's this feeling inside of me? Who's the man in the mirror? I still can't see Disco Jones. You got to build a home with bricks and stones. Disco Jones.
That's one of our NFTs. Two people were like, these guys just fucking
cool
talk
song,
about tokens
dude.
all day. We're also artists and we make art on wax. We'll give away the lit version of this gyrating hips neon sign, and you can blend this for 1 neon. So
yeah.
if you want to get into the neon, it's how you get the token. The only way you can get it is by burning our NFTs on NFT blocks. You can burn it for a neon blend token and then send it to a bridge that is a 1-to-1 neon blend token to neon fungible token.
Yeah, if you want to play the support line and start playing with the neon market, it's a good way to blend into it. But yeah, our tokenomics is pretty interesting, Sid. I agree. I'm like, there's still not another token out there that I've seen that does it the way we do it.
Yeah, it does the same thing. It's like
definitely
pretty
like
cool.
unique in the space where it's like a fungible token that's tied to the floor of the NFT collection, and the NFT collection can be burned into the token. I think that's a really interesting like relationship dynamic.
Yeah, good stuff. Man.
I'm also biased as hell as like, you know, one of the people who came up with it. So obviously I'm like, oh, I think it's a cool idea because it was my idea.
Whoever came up with that idea is a fucking genius.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
let's do this
definitely
giveaway.
also, I know I've seen a few people who'd like do similar things, but theirs are more complicated. And ours is already, I feel like, too complicated. So I feel like complicating it more is not the move.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good news is you don't need to participate in that at all to benefit from it. So
That was the biggest thing when I was like thinking of it, is like it has to be something that like it's rewarding to participate in, but if you don't want to participate, it still has to benefit you. So that's what our token definitely does that, where it's like, hey, if you don't know anything about it, well, all the NFTs that you own are being burned because other people are, you know, doing this token shit. You don't have to do anything, but your NFTs are getting more valuable or more rare. That's it.
got a couple backpacks left, a couple naked grubs. Oh no, only one backpack left. Alpaca. Didn't make it. Final 3. Ooh! Indicator, Edward. Oh, Be Wicked. You spun to your
You've
death.
done it.
Twelter. Congratulations. I don't know if you saw I tagged you in our Discord, Twelter, but Max talked about the ETFs and those kind of strategies at about 38 minutes into the stream if you want to watch the playback and you missed it live. But you were asking for a tech talk about that. We didn't do a super long one, but there's probably like 20 minutes, 30 minutes talking about that. We kind of went off the rails a bit like we always do.
Yeah. I gotta refill my tea as well.
We will send you a
But yeah,
gyrating hips.
thank you guys. Thanks for joining us today, and Sid, thanks for your time. I know
Yeah,
it's
man. It's
not
been
usual.
fun.
But yeah, we should
been
just.
cool.
I'm down to do it again. We gotta do it again when,
Yeah.
as the market's getting more bullish here. I feel like people love to hear from the chart guru.
Oh, yeah.
Should I feel like once a quarter or something? We could always have a Sid update.
Yeah.
Right,
You
I'm
know,
on that.
like I'm waiting for the like media to still like start the FOMO. Like,
Yeah, I do
I feel
believe there
that
is
still
to
hasn't
be-
happened. And we're
around
all
the
doing like
halving.
new highs, and nobody's talking about it.
I'm surprised about that too. Like, why isn't there more
Why?
media coverage on like Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs? Like, I feel like
I think 100K because like
I get
that's-
emails of it, like, I mean, I'm from like exchanges and shit. Like all the exchanges email me, they're like new all-time high, like Bitcoin. That's from like being subscribed to the exchanges already. If you're not already in it, I don't think.
Yeah.
you get that information.
exactly. I'm like surprised by the lack of the coverage in the mainstream like news. I feel like
Let's see if we can find any. I don't watch the mainstream news though, so like Bitcoin.
I
See
did
if there's,
recently.
like CNN or something.
I recently saw an article that was like, "Oh, Bitcoin dropped."
CNBC news about Bitcoin.
I saw one that was like Bitcoin dropped 10% in like less than an hour, and it was just like, yeah,
Oh,
after
that
it
week
went
when
up.
we bought it. We bought
Yeah,
it.
the day we bought the dip,
So this
exactly.
is from
But it's like,
CNBC television, has 56,000 views. I feel like that's pretty mainstream
okay.
from
Yeah,
5
well-
days ago. Yeah, it seems like a lot of these are from like YouTubers and
starting-
whatnot.
I guess they're starting to get a little bit
Not
of it
the
back.
mainstream media.
Yeah, I haven't seen like
Sadly.
I haven't
Like
seen like
friends,
a CNN.
like
reporter
random
talking
people
about
talk about it. Like my Uber
That too. I
driver.
have not seen many random people talk about it. Although, like I said, I have had people coming out of the woodwork and asking about like what they should
Yeah.
do with their existing crypto.
USA
still
Today,
very limited.
11
people
hours
being
ago.
like,
where I get all my crypto news from, usatoday.com.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I feel like they're reporting on it. I don't watch TV, so I
think-
like
Yeah, my guess is like 100K is gonna be like that's gonna be
The big news.
a lot
That's
of
when you're
news.
gonna see
And
like
that's when we're gonna pull back probably.
that's when you're gonna see like Kramer and people like on Mad Money come on and be like, yeah,
Buy
Bitcoin's
it.
on fire again. You
And then
know
it
what?
tanks. That-
I've always said it was a good investment, and then you like rewind back to like 3 months ago where he's like, Bitcoin, I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, those fucking clowns.
Just
They're always-
totally, like-
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
all right.
Like we said though at the beginning here, this is an interesting asset class because retail is right there with like, you know, institutional money with the opportunity to invest and participate in these markets. That's usually not the case. We usually don't get to participate until the juice has been squeezed dry. So these crypto markets are an interesting, you know, it's an interesting dynamic here. So I'm excited to be in it. And I'm excited more and more people are kind of like also participating these days. Not everybody thinks it's rat poison squared like Warren Buffett suggested.
We're going to raid into the American Crypto Academy, and I'll plan buying the dip before we do that. Thanks for
Yes,
watching,
buying the
everybody. If anyone wants to hang out and stay in touch, feel free to join our Discord. We'll stream again tomorrow at, I don't know, sometime between 12 and 3 p.m.
In the afternoon.
And
sometime between
tomorrow's our
our
Off the Rails stream, which actually I'm excited to look at. Linus Tech Tips right after we did our Apple Vision review did an Apple Vision review, and we watched his review on the MetaQuest. So I feel like we have an equal, and I'm sure you'll talk about it in comparison. So we'll check that out tomorrow too. Probably at some point I wanted to do a video game console tier list, so maybe we'll do that tomorrow. But I don't know. Also, maybe my fucking back's gonna explode and I won't be able to stream at all. So we'll find out. That's the RNG for tomorrow. Is will my back hold up overnight?
Yeah. Roll the dice.
All right, here's buying the dip, which I will not
Until
dance
then-
to, so I don't break my back.
Buy the dip. It's dip
buy
buying
the
time.
dip.
Oh man.
Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you, with you. Oh man, your boy Kevin just lost lots of money. Oh, but that's okay. I am with you. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the
Buy
dip,
the dip.
buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it. Oh my God, what's
Only in a bull
happening?
market
First of
though.
all this money by Wall Street is making me sick. 140% of GameStop was short. GameStop was short. You can't allow Wall Street to short 75%
God, I love
of its
this guy.
crush these companies into the dirt. Thousands of stocks into the dirt. Then when the individual makes money, everyone's
Okay.
entrepreneurs. I have a kid who bought a house, paid $50,000 and bought a house. After decades of the short, you have to accept the fact that individual
Individual
investors
investors are playing the same game that you're playing, and now you're losing.
Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here we go, come on, push it, buy the dip, buy the dip. Here Here we go. Come on, push it. Find the dip. Find the dip. Here we go. Come on, push it. Oh my God, what's happening?
There's a lot of power.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you on the moon.
Nifty Islands.